Hi everyone, and welcome to Aldrithe this week. Woohoo! Hi.
Hello.
All right, it's good to be back. Um, I know I left y'all on a little bit of an interesting cliffhanger last week, so I'm not. So I'm not gonna keep y'all too long in the pre-show. However, I have a couple things to go over before we get started. I don't know why my camera is so high, but whatever. Um, first of all, I feel the need. This is a tiny little thing, but you know how typically I bother our entire audience twice per session, once at break and once at the end of the show, about a binder check. Well, I realized, unfortunately, I was so caught up in the adrenaline rush at the end of last second, you all got off without a second binder check at the end of last session. So, at the beginning of this session, you get an early one to make up for it. If you are one of our friends that wears a binder, please make sure that you can stretch, that you can breathe, and if it is uncomfortable or if it hurts, please take it off and give yourself a break. When was the last time you made binder soup? You know you need to wash it. It's important to make sure that that is clean and fitting well. It's an article of clothing like anything else, and you deserve to have clean and comfy clothes. So, there's that. Next, I would like to say really quickly, because we haven't brought this up in quite a while, in terms of specific numbers with thank you all for supporting us. We currently have 69 Twitter followers, which makes me so happy. Nice. So thank you for 69 Twitter followers, especially thank you for over 300 followers on Twitch. Which we got a couple weeks back, but I forgot to mention. And after our most recent videos, thank you very much for 5.5k on TikTok. If yeah, if you're one of our friends that joins us on this many platforms, we love you so very much. And whether you support us by coming to see our VODs, by supporting us on some other platform, either way, we love you very dearly. And I just wanted to thank everyone for the support that we've gotten. It's completely bonkers. It's fantastic. And thanks to everyone who's here tonight. Just the people that are here and every night. All right, one more thing. Hey, Ewan, do you have something to say to everybody?
Oh, sorry. You saying my name right as I was when we open up streams, I usually send the link to a few players, just like, hey, if you guys want to stop into the tree. So you caught me while I was doing that. Sorry, I gotta go back to my persona.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, friends. So we do very much appreciate every single one of you that comes in here. But when you are on the non-stop artistic journey that is being a content creator on platforms such as Twitch and TikTok and Twitter, every single person out there makes our day. But if you think that the joy that you get from Aldrithe D&D is something that you would like to share to, other people, friends, loved ones, enemies,
More?
then please send them, perhaps more. Please send them our way. We love and adore every single person who takes time out of their day to come see us, and people who even just watch the VODs or watch the uploads on YouTube or stumbled across us on TikTok. We are very thankful for all of you, and yeah, if you know anyone who you think would get a kick out of us and finds that similar joy in us that you do, then send them our way. If you're a person who's been sent by a friend, tell us who sent you, and we'll give them a little pat on the back or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all so much. It really means the world.
All right. Genuinely. Okay. So, thank you for the follow, new person that's joined. And with that, I don't think I have anything else to. With that, I don't think we have anything else to add before we get back into the thick of it. Speak now, forever hold your peace.
I think we're good.
Okay. Then, are we ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons?
Please.
Okay.
I've been thinking so hard about this next goddamn session. Please give it to
Take a long sip of my tea first. Gotta just wait a few minutes more.
You're a jerk.
Thank
you. So mean.
this day going?
So,
Actually, not nice weather we're having. I think all of us are having.
I'm gonna kill all of you, please.
so. Last
What's the
we
deal with
left
airline
off.
food? It's so plain.
Last we left off, the Fated Four was in the port city of Diara, a new city for them after spending a lot of time revisiting some of our older towns and older friends, as the group decided to set a course towards the Tentalienne Islands, the area of the world dominated by the influence of the Feywild, hoping to pursue a lead from the elusive and mysterious group of divine protectors known as the Curators, as well as to pursue some personal issues and I was gonna say personal beef, but I don't know if that counts, for Ivory and Armani in the Tentalienne Islands.
Royal beef.
Really gonna got to 10 and just fucking threw hands.
Just gonna throw hands with some Fey beings. However, in order to actually create that fight, in order to get there and explore this new part of your story, you have to actually make it there. And so the Fated Four has loaded themselves onto a ferry boat for a several-week-long journey along with a group of several other random passengers. And now, a while after the boat has left the port and begun its trip towards the Tentalienne Islands, everyone filed into the mess hall area and began to meet the other people riding on the boat. There were many interesting figures with from a lot of different backgrounds, some of which won some significant points with different parts of the party. However, there's a hydrate. However, the last figure to enter the room wasn't a random, mysterious passenger that you all could learn to get to know better, but have a fresh start with. The last passenger, a half-drow with short, silver blue hair and heavy layers of long-sleeve shirts and burn scars up the side of their face, entered, let down a scarf and a hood, and as they looked across the boat, saw Ivory, and their neutral face of busyness and exhaustion faded into revulsion as they look across and go, Ivory?
Do I recognize this person?
You have no idea who this person is.
I thought
That's
this
what
was
I
the
thought.
question. I was like, Mhairi, that's called barbecue.
Okay.
You watch the Drow kind of... They're having a facial journey right now as they look over at you, and, like, there's... Can you make a perception check real quick?
Sure can. That's a 9 plus. Hold on, wait. I was so fucking not ready. Okay, hold on. 11.
11, you are so caught up in this that you can't really catch any details about this figure. As they look over and... Fucking course you're here. A fucking course you're here! Ugh!
I'm sorry, have we met?
Is that your idea of a fucking joke?
No,
You've never been fucking funny, Ivory.
Are we all hearing this?
Yes, this is in front of everyone.
Yes.
Like, every
Here, it's like
face
you
in the
just sort of-
room is turning watching this right now.
Yeah, I kind of like turn it to the rest of the party. I'm like, I don't think I know you.
Can I still cast Eyes of the Lover?
Yeah, sure.
Please.
I was gonna
do
say,
you have
yes,
the spell?
I can.
I would like to cast Eyes of the Lover.
Well, I know exactly what you're looking for. If each of you would like to DM me with your just general strings, you're welcome to do it, but I do know exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And the thing that you are looking for is Ivory has always had a purple string that, you know, stands for being enemies, that has kind of stretched off in a different direction. It has always stretched off into nothingness. Looking at this person, you watch the purple string just connect in the center of the room, as a purple string from them connects with Ivory's in the center.
Fun.
Ivory doesn't know this is happening.
Well, I will say, this is something I have kept a little bit quiet with that string in particular, because Ivory doesn't know it. But, there is a second color on Ivory's end, worked into the purple. And for some reason the exact color is escaping me. I've forgotten my color coding, but it is close friend. That is braided in with purple from Ivory's end.
Oh no!
I'm shaking right now, what the fuck? Okay, as someone who doesn't know this person, Ivory is just kind of looking around. I have a good memory for faces most of the time. And they just kind of...
Okay.
They have at least, like, a month plus of perfect memory, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
They are not used to this. Can I see if it occurs to me?
You're smart. You can make the connection if you think that Ivory would be able to.
I think with the scarring, they just kind of stare at this person for a minute, and, like, through the web of, like, mist in their mind covering this person up, they just kind of click. And then it's just dread.
You can see kind of in the minute where that's that silence, you watch as just kind of tears cling to this person's waterline. As they kind of look over and just... And you're gonna pretend like you don't even know who I fucking am. Is that what that is? You ruined my fucking life and you're just gonna pretend like it didn't happen? Fine.
Oh.
Do it. Whatever. Let me guess. You're also headed to fucking Medora. Great, because it just has to follow me because the fates fucking hate me. That's exactly what I need right now. Gods above.
I am so sorry.
Oh, so now we're not pretending anymore?
I'm not. I don't know who you are. But I know what that is from. I kind of, like, reach up and touch my own kind of, like, scarring on my face. And it's just not the place for this. Because we're in a room of people.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of
There's a lot
staring.
of people here.
Ewan, you are not being picked up.
Oh, my gain was down. Hi. Nomos is just...
Walnuts.
Oh, I'm so sorry that this isn't the place for this, because in front of half of our fucking peers was the place for it, in front of everyone. Oh, running off and not giving me an apology for, I don't know, how long has it been, a year and a fucking half? I don't know anymore.
Ivory just takes it. That's fair.
Nomos does step to Ivory's side just as a reminder that, hey, you are not alone here. No physical contact, but just like a reminder. Just this space is more filled.
You're just gonna stand there and you're just... Fine. We won't do this here. Sure, I'll be the bigger person again, like I always fucking was, and I'll step down and let you go and continue to live and not fucking apologize for everything you fucking did.
I am sorry.
Yeah, sure. Fuck.
They just kind of avoid looking at them and just...
They kind of shove their bag down beside them and just kind of look at you in disgust and then turn away. The Leonin captain stands up at this point and goes,
Hello, class.
I don't know what's going on between you two, but y'all are gonna get your act together and not kill each other while you're on my boat, because trust me, you do not want to get on my bad side if you cause issues on this vessel. Do you two understand me?
Yes.
You see the Drow elf just... Alright. Well, it seems like everybody's here. So, we'll go over some ground rules, and then you two can settle your problems on your own. I'm sorry, first note, this boat doesn't turn around. We'll be here for 5 weeks, though closer to 4 if you're getting off on our stop at Silver Moon Landing. You better get used to each other. There's a few ground rules. Don't bother my crew. Don't climb on shit. I don't care if you saw it in your favorite romance novel. The Crow's Nest is not for you. Meals are served at 6, 11:30, and 6 p.m. Don't cause trouble, and we won't have any. A few members of the crew like to play music and the like during meal times and downtime. You're welcome to join, but don't bother them, and you should tip them for their time. God knows the ports in Kerkin don't let me pay them enough, as they should get anyway. Weapons from this point out, if you're carrying them, they should stay in your rooms. That's it. End of discussion. Any questions?
Nomos has a question that he raises his hand for and then puts his hand back down as he realizes this is not a literal nest for crows. This is probably in reference to something else.
You've been on a boat before.
Yeah, that doesn't mean
That doesn't mean
he's
he's smart.
Nomos
doesn't
like
mean he's
stowed
smart,
away in the
bud.
fucking bilge.
Oh my god.
Nomos lived with like the rats.
Oh,
and
your
the
first
hard
criminal
cats.
your first criminal act.
I don't think he
Aw.
knew it at the time. I think he did it, and he's like, "Man, this was a really cheap seat." I mean, like, and there's no meal times, but I can just dig into this like pile of hardtack here. This tastes just like home.
The fact that you didn't die.
Says Psyche.
Yeah, where did you
Psyche.
piss? Never
The
mind, I don't want to know.
The rats had already established a corner. I just followed their lead.
Oh my fucking god. On that goddamn
This
note.
is normal. This is just how boat travel is.
The captain.
We don't talk about Nomos.
Ah!
The captain kind of
Why?
looks over the group, which is... It has a certain amount of tension to it because of this argument. Obviously, each of you are having your individual reactions to this. You can see the two satyrs kind of just whispering to each other and kind of looking over. One of them just... The paladin is just kind of looking over at your group and between you and the other person, kind of back and forth. It looks like the human with the bird traits is just kind of ignoring that and kind of staying focused on themselves. And the Aarakocra elders are not paying that much attention to anything at all. But there's this weird tension between this whole group right now, and the captain kind of looks over and goes, "All right, That's not my problem. If you need me, you can find me elsewhere and ask through other members of the crew. There's usually going to be 1 or 2 people on deck at all times that you can ask about me. If there are no questions, then I am going to go do my job. Good luck to you all. And the landlord, like, grabs his coat and, like, and walks up the stairs, leaving the entire group in the mess hall just kind of sitting there in silence for a moment.
I think the captain is the meanest gay that we've ever met.
I was just gonna say, darling, you know my weakness is like, DILFs who
They're
are
not
so
mean.
utterly done with everything that is surrounding them.
This is not mean. This is no nonsense. This is like...
You want a mean gay
like,
person? I
what
already
if-
gave you Kyron.
We have those. We have those. Kyron threatened to kill me.
She was
But-
just in a silly, goofy mood.
Y'all have
This is like, it's like a
interacted
school
with
bus
Keaton.
driver. Yeah, we talked to, yeah.
We talked to the mean god. The
Yeah.
mean gay god.
The gay god. Which is all of them, again, but...
All of them.
Yeah.
Are all of the gay gods mean?
No, that's...
All of the
They're just all
gay-
gay.
Gods are gay.
Elna's right here.
Anyway.
She's
Okay,
not mean, she's
Captain-
negligent.
The captain is a DILF, not mean. But they leave. They're gone.
The captain leaves, and everyone is just kind of sitting there in the aftermath of the weird
Hate
back
to
and
see
forth.
them leave, but love to see them go.
Yeah.
That wasn't in character. That wasn't in character.
You can just see like the paladin again just kind of looking between the two of you. Kind of just keeping an eye out. Like you can see that the paladin is looking back and forth in like a I'm going to watch and make sure that everything is okay, and the two satyrs are sitting here like, do you have popcorn?
I mean,
It's gonna go on World Star.
Yeah. It's the-
did you bring your Camrock quarter?
Is this a yeah.
This can go on Planet Light.
Oh god.
Ivory also kind of just like has been sneaking glances at this person the entire time. How much worse is their scarring?
Most of it is covered up. You can't really tell in terms of how much like real estate is covered, but the burns themselves look more severe.
Yeah, I just kind of... I mean, do you want to talk?
Are you saying that to them?
Yup. It's like low.
What is there to talk about, Ivory?
Your name would be a great start.
Do you really not remember me?
I don't know how well we knew each other, but do I have a history of just ignoring people?
I will say, when you say I don't know how well you knew each other, that kind of seems to hurt a bit. Like, you see just kind of like a bit flash across their face, and it's... I don't know. My name is Naira. We were
How'd I spell that?
N-Y-R-A.
Fuck.
Thank you.
I tried and I failed.
We were friends. Do you remember Min?
Do I remember Min? Just shakes their head.
You see them just kind of stare into nothingness for a moment with this sense of disbelief on their face. And then the tears that have been clinging to their waterline, just something breaks and you just see them start just sobbing. And just... You don't even remember.
I don't know what to do right now. And like Ivory just kind of like reaches out and then like stops and can we do we have rooms?
Yeah, you do.
Yes, you and I share a room.
Oh yeah, we do. We share a bunk, don't we?
Yeah, Marshall
I'm not back there,
buddies.
though. So
You're what?
I'm not back there, though.
Yeah.
We're all
So.
here.
I'm very aware of this fact.
No, we're all just you guys are having this like thing, and the rest of the party is just.
Can we go somewhere else?
Can you give me like 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Look, I'm fine. Just give me like 10 minutes and then I'm in room 2. Just I'm not sharing. I'll just
Take your time.
meet you there.
And then I am gonna sending stone to the others and just be like, I'm also going to take a few minutes, and I just am gonna go to our room.
Alright. So Ivory leaves. Naira stays where she is. And just kind of staring down at the table and just kind of trying to bite back tears. The satyrs and the Aarakocra get up and start to leave as well. What are you all doing other than Ivory?
Did Ivory already leave?
Yeah, they're going back to
The room.
Ivory and Psyche's room,
Mhm.
and they're just going to go in there and fucking close the door and put their back against it so no one else can come in and take a long series of deep breaths.
Before you go, can Nomos like tell you something?
Yeah.
I think he's put together kind of what's happened here just through context clues. And yeah, if no one else is going to, Nomos does like briefly like grab your like elbow as you're leaving, just like, I know we have no place in whatever is going on here, but if there's anything we can do to help, we're here. You know that.
Thanks.
Okay.
So what are you guys doing?
Yeah, Ivory leaves. You guys are left in the room. There are 2 more passengers that are still left in the room other than Naira, who you can attempt to talk to if you want, but
The Paladilf, and then
the
the
paladin is
Paladilf,
still
and then one
there,
other person.
and the human with the crow traits.
Yes. I mean, I think in any other situation, Nomos would absolutely go for Paladin because he's like, fellow individual. But he's kind of still reeling from everything.
Fellow.
Reeling, haha! Like we're on a boat because we're in the what? Because fishing, because
see when you're fishing, right? You do this thing. I think Nomos just kind of looks at Psyche and then looks at Mani. Just, I mean, there's not much we can do, right?
I'm just gonna give him space.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna go like slip a note under their door real quick, but like just because we share a room.
Yeah.
I'll Yeah, I can also move my mic closer to my mouth.
That's what I did.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I was just gonna go leave something under their door and then leave them be for now. Um, there's people to meet, I guess. Be here for 5 weeks, so
I mean, we're in no rush. What time is it?
You guys left at
Ivory's
1.
here, so we don't know.
We've taken.
yeah, Ivory's not here, so how could we know?
You can estimate based off of the fact that Ivory isn't here that it's about mid-afternoon, kind of approaching the evening.
Gotcha.
I do want to like run over to not like run, but run. Turn of phrase. Just head over to our room and I just write a little note and slide it under the door and walk away. The note.
Can I read it?
Yeah, it's for you. The note just says, "Hey, sorry about all that. Take your time. Remember, we all love you. I'll be on the deck if you need me."
I put it in my bag.
I think when Psyche leaves, it's still just Nomos and Mhairi. Nomos says to Mhairi, just I know that they need space right now, and probably for the better. But just when they come out, make sure they're okay. I might seem to have a bit of a closer rapport than we do.
Yeah, I'll make sure.
You're a good influence on each other. You know that.
Are we though?
I mean, you keep a smile on each other's faces, for the most part. Who am I to judge why the smile is there?
I'm gonna go to my room.
I also need to go to our room just because I need to drop off my. Nomos has like 3 weapons on him at all times. 4 if you count himself.
You're
And
stuff, man, you gotta unload it.
yeah.
You
Yeah, 4 if you count himself.
I know.
It's usually the joke I make.
But yeah, I know. See, I gotta
about-
beat you to it so you can't hurt me with it.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
At least it's self-inflicted. But actually, as you say, you're gonna head to your room. Nomos does remember. Oh, right, Paladin. Actually, would you? Nomos takes the scabbard of his
Comically
long sword.
large amount of weapons.
You're just like, hold on.
Nomos reaches into his shoe and pulls out a dagger. Nomos reaches from behind. He has his side scabbard that he uses for his short sword. You gave him a spear recently that he just hands to you. Pass himself. I don't think the shield counts, does it?
I mean, I can take that back too.
No, I want it.
Okay.
No, I'll keep it. If something ever it's on my back. If something comes from behind me and hits me, I'll be more protected.
That'll definitely happen on this ship. I'm just gonna take your stuff then.
Thank you.
Yes.
Since you're taking it back, I give you free reign as to which bunk you desire.
Sure. Yeah, Nomos. Which one do you want, Nomos? Are you top or bottom, Nomos? Just. Nomos.
I have never slept on a bunk bed.
Yeah. That's funny.
So-
Me neither. So this is something that we can kind of figure out together, I guess.
We can rock, paper, scissors.
What is that? What is that?
Boulder, parchment, shears.
Boulder,
Forgive me.
parchment,
Oh, yeah. Okay, of course, Boulder Parchment Shears. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Whoever wins gets top bunk.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Boulder, parchment, shears, shoot.
Like.
Boulder, parchment, shears, shoot.
Fuck. Okay, you win.
I'll take the top bunk. We'll see.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Alright, so Armani, you can take the weapons and stuff and make your way back to you and Nomos' room.
Pile.
Yeah, like this giant fight, just a lot of clanking as you make your way down the hallway with this giant pile of
Well, you
weapons.
almost sound as loud as I do.
I think Armani just drop one of the weapons and then just kind of kicks it down the hallway towards the.
You
the
try
room.
to do that, and you like lean down to kick it, and you drop another weapon, and it gets to the point where you just hear, and Dark becomes corporeal for a minute and steps forward and picks up the two swords and is like, I may as well help. And he walks down the hall with you. Although he does go about halfway down the hallway, goes, hey, am I a stowaway?
I think you always are. Kind of like
Huh.
always committing a crime, I think, by existing.
Nice.
Your existence is a crime.
Nice. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that would make sense. That's good. I can roll with that. Anyway, room time. And Dark helps you get everything back to the room. Before he
We're
goes
below
and
deck,
to
right?
get back. Yes, you are currently below deck in the mess hall.
Okay. What is the shape of this boat, vaguely? Like, are we talking
Shaped
like
Ewan.
sloop? Are we talking
Ewan,
long?
Ewan,
Are we talking
Ewan,
jump?
shaped.
Ewan,
Hey,
with
Ewan.
all the love in my heart, didn't we have a conversation not 5 hours ago where we talked about how Vari and I don't know anything about how boats are shaped or what boats are?
Boat.
Like,
I
we
was
talked
just-
about that
I am
today.
wondering for ease of, does Nomos currently see the horizon, and does he need to worry about being seasick?
He is inside right now. They've got little, like, portholes that you can look through.
Okay.
But other than that, that's, like, the only way that's the only way he'd be able to see it. There are portholes, though.
It's
I
it's
will.
boat shaped though, I think.
It's boat-shaped.
Yeah, it's boat shaped.
Boat-shaped, has portholes.
Thank you. Nomos is very pointedly avoiding them. To get to his room, does he have to go above deck?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that was gonna be his excuse for sticking around to talk to. Yeah, I really don't want to test luck, but Nomos is awful at just walking up and talking to people for genuine conversation.
Hey, you and I have the same job.
Hey, nice god you got there.
Is Nomos just, like,
no.
standing there and staring at the paladin and trying to figure out how to walk over and talk to him? Is that what's
Nomos
happening
is not
here?
a charismatic person. Nomos is just very pretty, and that's why he has.
This
a
is true,
16
but, like, is that
charisma.
what's happening right now?
I think he's processing.
You would just
how
say yes.
To approach this person. He's not
So you're
staring,
just standing
but
there
he's very
staring at him.
pointedly not making eye contact. I think in whether intentionally or not, he is rubbing his holy symbol. Like it's just it's his fiddle. And I don't know if that calls attention to it for our paladin. But,
I mean, paladins have good wisdom scores, and they're good insight, good perception.
Not
Other
all of them.
paladins too. Other paladins
That's why-
have good
that's why
wisdom
I said
scores. And other paladins that are not you. And kind of after a little bit, I think he makes a couple rolls until it finally just kind of hits him. With you just, like, idling in the center of the
you
room.
break his like internal monologue. I can just walk up and speak to people. I'm now realizing
Do you need
almost
help,
every
son?
friendship or relationship that what?
Do you need something? You're just standing here. He's the same height as you.
Sorry, I think he is reeling from A, the person is speaking to him, and B, no one calls him son. No one calls Nomos son.
I'm having a moment about this. I will say, wait, where is this happening?
In the mess hall.
Is this like
in
the
the
main
mess
room?
hall.
Yeah.
I will say at some point Psyche just probably comes and like watches from the corner.
It is entirely possible that this took long enough that you could have
For you
made
to
it back.
come back, because I've just been.
Watching. I'm watching.
In which case, the person with the human-like person has left by the time Psyche comes back. Naira has also left by this point, so it's just Nomos and the paladin left.
Okay. God buddies. No. Sorry, what was the last thing that they said to me?
Is there something you need help with? You're just standing there.
Sorry. Lost myself for a minute there. Still acclimating to the ship. I'm not a big fan of maritime travel.
It's not for everybody, I'll say that, yeah.
You a frequenter? Or?
I try to be. I've been hopping boats quite a bit recently, so this is the long way home after a couple different hops. I've gotten pretty used to having to deal with some sea legs.
Sorry. Offers his hand. Nomos.
Gordar.
Sorry, can I get a spelling for that, darling?
Goredar, Goredar.
Beautiful. Oh my
Wait, one more time. G-O-R-D...
Gorde.
G-O-R-E-D-A-R.
Goredar.
Oh, lovely. I love orcs. That is me, Ewan.
Yeah.
Nomos doesn't just say that.
Says that
Like,
out
oh,
loud.
I love orcs. No. Pleasure.
Good to meet you too.
He does, at this point, I think he musters up the, he points at the holy symbol, and then points at his,
Oh, fellow brother in Elnet. Good to meet you.
I've met a few, not usually with such garb as yourself. Are you a fellow paladin, or?
Yes I am. Have been for 10 years.
Wow. I, until now, have been the only one that I've known of.
It's an honor to meet you then. To kind of break the seal on that one. I hope you find many more.
No, me as well. There aren't many of us, are there?
Well, it depends on where you are. I mean, we're leaving Kerkin, which is swarming of worshippers of Elnet, really. I mean, that's why I was in Kerkin, but...
I'm not from around there. Not quite my sect, as from what I've
mine
learned.
neither.
Oh.
There were quite a few things that I disagreed upon, but I was happy to figure out all of these other ways of study, you know.
Right.
Are you sure you're
Sorry.
okay?
I'm suffice to say I'm quite well. No, I've also never met anyone who wasn't from that sort of mindset. I also have my qualms, to say the least.
Yeah, sometimes you're just raised different. It's its own issue to deal with. They certainly take themselves seriously up in Kerkin, especially in Targrave. Whew! Met some interesting individuals in there, but I am happy to be going home.
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from the Tentalienne Islands. I'm
right.
going
You said
home.
home.
Yeah. I live in Botal. I'll be getting off at the Silver Moon Landing stop. A couple more days travel. I'm just excited to see my kid again.
Oh,
He's a Delph!
I said he was.
yeah, no. We are. Yeah, we're headed to. I'm personally headed to Port Eau Claire. I'm not too familiar with the geography of the Tentalienne Islands myself, but no, it must be nice to head home after a long trip. I know I'm actually just leaving mine. Well, leaving my home, not quite where I'm from, but.
Well, I hope you can go home soon. I'm not sure why I thought this idea of going to study other methods and all that kind of stuff was a good idea when I'm such a homebody. It's been rough to be just without everybody, without my husband, without the community. It's been a lot. I'm happy to have learned the things I learned, but I am very happy to be going home.
No, it's always funny. I haven't been a paladin for as long as you have, but you know, I spent my whole upbringing, you know, preparing myself and getting ready for my a grand adventure. And the first place I go, I find something that makes me want to stay. This is how things tend to work out, isn't it?
We never know what the gods have in store for us. But having a thing that makes
Especially
you want to
when
stay
they're-
isn't a bad thing.
This is true. Yeah. We never know what they have in store, especially when they're not the most forthright with communication.
Yeah. Oh, I've had some debates about that over the past few weeks, months. It's been months.
No one's gonna looks around, just like, so, are you on board with the whole King Galadin is the mouthpiece thing?
I mean, honestly, I don't really care. I don't understand what's going on there, and it's not something that I have wrapped my head around yet, but no, it seems weird.
Okay.
There's a lot of reasons why that can't work. I feel like there's got to be something very wrong there.
Right. She's not known for reaching out, and why him, of all?
Yeah.
I'm from Neos, personally.
Never been.
There's not too much. There's Cromkirk. That's about it. Have you ever heard of the Temple of the Divine Magistrate?
No? Should I have?
It's where I was brought up
Oh,
in all of this.
fantastic. Hey, yeah, I can write it down as a place to visit. Like I said, this whole thing has been me trying to figure out and all these other practices and see how other people go about their methods of worship. I mean, it's fascinating with all of the ways we go about, all the different ways we go about this kind of worship.
I
and
wouldn't.
The way that, what?
I wouldn't go. It's Does the title High Inquisitor mean anything to you?
Well, yeah.
Have you ever met one?
Why would I have met one? I mean, she was an important figure, but I mean, she died hundreds of years ago.
Has there never been one since she left?
There hasn't been a member of the High Council since the beginning of the Divine War.
Hey, has no one ever fucking heard of a High Council?
No.
Hey, what the fuck? Hey, what the fuck?
I mean, the most that I would...
Actually,
of the jokes...
you do hear over the stone Psyche just going, "Hey, what the fuck?"
No, most of the time. Shut up.
It's just, I mean, the most that remains of the High Council is my friends calling me a Judas because of how much I obsess over all this ethical, moral stuff.
That was me. Until recently.
What do you mean, son? I don't...
I was Judas.
Okay.
Can I make like a persuasion? Like, hey, dude,
sure,
I'm not
make
fitting.
a persuasion check. Because
Hey,
he's
dude,
looking
I
at you
wish
like
I
you're fucking crazy right now.
honestly wish I was fucking joking.
Are you on drugs?
Is it
Young
crack?
man,
Yeah,
are you
he's
high?
just looking at you like you're fucking bonkers.
Fuck, cock.
You've got to stop saying it like that.
There we go.
Stop doing that.
Sorry. That is a 17 plus 3, dirty 20. He does show his holy symbol. I think we have discussed that Nomos' holy symbol is not a one of common make. I don't know if that means it's just rare or if it's a sign of like authority, but
Are you saying she was a past life? I believe you. I believe
No.
that you feel this way, but I don't understand what you're saying.
when I was raised, that was what I was raised for. Raised as a brought up. That my entire life was in preparation to be a mouthpiece, a spokesperson for her. I was told that my entire purpose, my entire being, my inner conscience itself was her word, and it wasn't. And
Do you know
I-
what a High Inquisitor historically is?
no, and that is what is maddening about it. The only people who I've ever spoken to who knew what it was the man who did this to me and King Galadin.
Did what to you?
Sorry. I apologize. We have just met. This is a lot.
Why don't you take a little bit to calm down? And how about in a little bit over dinner, two of us sit down and have a little bit of a talk? How about that?
Right. Sorry, sir.
It is okay. You seem a little bit overwhelmed, and I want to give you some space to feel that. There's nothing to apologize for. Seems like there's a lot going on up there, and you kind of just take some time. If you want to find me faster, but then I am in, oh god, what room is he in? Room 4. If you want to find me faster, but take a good chunk of time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And he kind of reaches out and he kind of gently pats you on the back a bit. And I'll try and get all my thoughts together because I have spent a very long time studying this kind of thing. And of course everything is debated, but I think I might be able to help you learn a little bit.
And I would love to speak about that because I do think I unfortunately have had some experiences that give me unique insights, for better or for worse.
Okay.
Yes, feel free, settle in your quarters. I'll thank you.
Find me a dinner a little bit earlier. Take a breath, Nomos. It's gonna be okay.
Right. My mic isn't picking it up. He is breathing shakily. And he does turn and exit. He needs some air.
Yeah, a moment later he also exits, nodding to Psyche, who is currently getting tea. So I'm just gonna leave that with that.
In the corner, just stirring some tea.
Yeah, stirring some tea, just like... I just hit myself in the face with this fucking cup. Anyway,
Yeah.
So, with Nomos walking off to take a little bit of time, and everyone a little bit separately. Ivory,
Yes.
how much time are you gonna take?
Exactly 10 minutes.
Exactly 10 minutes. Okay.
They probably like 5 minutes ish is like how long it takes for them to like calm the fuck down internally enough to like process what's happening, and then they just start giving a little bit of time because they said 5 or 10 minutes, and everybody's like, okay. And then they are going to go to room 2 and just gently knock on the door, and it's me. If you've changed your mind about talking, that's fine.
There's kind of a moment. You genuinely wonder if she's gonna come to the door. But after
They probably like turn to walk away.
just kind of as you do that, the door opens behind you. And she's just kind of standing there, not really making eye contact. Just what, are you gonna come in?
Sure. Yeah, they go in. I'm assuming it's the same kind of room.
Same room layout. It seems like their stuff is kind of distributed across the room. It's a little bit messy. She seems to have like some books open, some large books open on the bed. Several of which aren't like print books. They are like handwritten, like journals or something. You don't get the opportunity to look over her shoulder and see what that might be, what things are in it though, before she turns and as you enter just closes all of the books that are open on her bed. And she kind of, you walk in and you see her just kind of, and move her hand, and the door closes gently behind you.
They just kind of like stand awkwardly, and like they're not gonna sit on the anything. But they just kind of. I don't really know where to start with this, but you obviously have some amount more recollection.
How can you not remember what happened?
The answer is probably going to make it worse.
Ivory, you already forced me to drop out of school. I really don't care.
I couldn't live with it, so I gave it away.
How lucky you are to have the privilege to be able to live without it. Congrats.
It wasn't worth it.
Oh, was it? Taking responsibility for what you did wasn't worth it? Maybe you should have to live with it, the way that I have to. Have you considered that? That maybe you weren't the only person involved in all of this? Why should
What?
I have to live with it when you don't? When it's your fault?
You shouldn't. I deserve that. I had to leave too. And I don't know what you want me to say or do. I don't remember
that's the whole thing, is that I have spent months, years, thinking about what was gonna happen, because I figured eventually I had to have the worst luck, that I was going to run into you eventually, and I just thought maybe when I saw you again, I would get something, I would get an apology that actually had something meaningful behind it, or something that might give me fucking closure. And you gave the memory away, so you don't even know what you're apologizing for. So all of everything that I went through exists in a vacuum. I used to know what I would be able to, what I would want to demand from you, and now I can't, because it's not, because now it's just me.
It doesn't mean much at all, but I'm also sorry for that. I know I hurt you both physically and apparently a lot worse, but I don't know what I can give you.
So, what? Why are you fucking here? Let me guess, you're going to Majora too? So I get to be stuck with you again?
Where?
Okay, thank goodness that's a no. The Majora School of Magic's on Botal.
No, I haven't been studying. Just kind of wandering.
What, do you still use magic?
Reluctantly? How did we know each other?
We were friends. I mean, look, when you go to Erden and everybody wants to... We were both doing shitty. You, me, and Min. You and Min. Min also had your thing. You know, the wild magic stuff. And I was just bad at it. So we all did bad. And I guess we all just got filtered together. And then when, hey, may as well stick together, right?
Oh, okay. I have more missing than I know of, and it's just bits and pieces, but
We had a study group. We went to our first year ball together. Min liked to go out and get ice cream with you. You were better than me.
that all sounds really nice. know I don't deserve to know at this point. Can you tell me what happened?
You can see Naira just kind of zone out a little bit for a second and then kind of come back. It was comparative casting. An exam. Look, I get that we had been... You don't remember.
We'd been what?
We'd been fighting. Look, I get it. I wasn't exactly being the fucking nicest to you, but what was I supposed to do? Everything that I did, you started to be able to do better. And look, it was limited spots moving forward, and if I didn't get in, my parents would kill me. And you just... And look, Look, it always felt whenever you won, I had to lose, and I didn't... And I resented you, and I'm sorry. I know I was being a dick, I know it, and we were fighting, and I guess you got tired of me being a dick. Because we did a comparative casting exam, and even though I asked the professor to not put us against each other, she did. And I did fine. And I did better than you.
It was an accident,
How
though.
do you know? You don't remember it.
It had to have been.
Yeah? How would you know?
I don't. I
finally did better than you, and you blew up on me. And I guess you got what you wanted. Because when you ran off, got the sabotage, it worked. You fucking ran, and I couldn't cast for months. You ran, and I never got a fucking apology. Not even a stupid fucking get well soon card.
It had to.
Look, I gotta thank you for something. You taught me that, all that shit that I have to deal with myself is only gonna get me hurt, so, no longer have to deal with all of that, because our whole thing was, oh, well, you and Min, you're wild magic sorcerers, and oh, like, it's unfair that you can't use your wild magic, whatever. And I was like, maybe if I tapped into my own stuff, then maybe it would be fine. And no, it was not. It was not fine, and I'm not sure I would want to anyway. And so because every time I cast from something like that's nice and nestled deep within there, all I can think about is you, and I'm tired of it. So I have to thank you because you at least gave me direction, and there's that at least.
Do you really... They just kind of take a deep breath and are kind of, I guess, questioning everything in their mind right now, because they thought it was an accident, and obviously this person does not. Also, hello, thank you for the raid.
Thank you for the raid.
Welcome in. They just...
Thank you for the raid.
You said we were friends. Do you truly believe that even fighting I would have on purpose.
Ivory, I want to believe a lot of things, but you have to understand the way it looks when we're in the middle of a fight. You blow up on me and then run and abandon me and don't even bother to apologize. You just left. You didn't even say goodbye. You didn't say goodbye to me. You didn't say goodbye to Min. You didn't try to explain yourself. You just fucking left. You did something that you knew could have destroyed my life, and you left. If it was an accident, why didn't you apologize? That was all I ever wanted.
Maybe I was afraid you wouldn't take it.
I'm glad that was a scary situation for you. But hey, fuck you, I'm going to Medora now. So maybe I'll actually be able to get a formalized education again. Not like I'd ever be able to go back to Airden, but, you know, we take what we can get. It's a new start. I actually get to join the divination program this time. Because I'm good now. I did it myself.
I am glad for you. I mean it.
If you had the chance to get those memories back, would you get them back?
If you had asked a year ago, probably not, but yes.
Good. I hope it hurts. She kind of looks away.
I deserve that. Yeah. I'll just... I just, like, give her our room number. I don't know what the fuck our room number is.
One of you is 6 and one of you is 7. You can kind of choose which one.
Okay, sure. We'll take 6. I'm in room 6 with one of the tieflings you might have seen. If gods above you want to talk, I am sorry.
Took you long enough, I guess. I would say probably your next stop would be to apologize to Min, but I haven't seen her in 4 months, so I wouldn't know how.
If I meet a Min, I will pass it along. And I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna walk out of the door.
Yeah, you do, and again, she closes the door behind you, just magically, but this time it has a little bit of a slam, a finality behind it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, basically, over time, we are going to kind of... Well, first of all, I'm going to change the music. But over time, we're going to kind of move to a bigger and bigger picture. In terms of, like, the amount of days that we skip per thing. So it's the first day, so we've got a lot of time to settle and do things in terms of, but we got 5 weeks to cover. So for day 1, I assume Nomos is going to want to talk to the paladin again at some point. Are there other people that want to track people down?
To Gorodon.
So you want to talk to him at one point. Other people in the party, you guys have the rest of the day as well, in between this time to do stuff, whether that's just going to be settling or whatever. Where are you going? Who are you looking for, if anyone in particular, to the other 3 members of this party?
I think Armani does want to find Ivory, like, at some point, like, later, like, in the evening, like, after, like, figured there was a good amount of time between when Ivory left and, like, when they would have had that conversation, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check on them and be like, hey, bestie, need a hug. Do that exact thing in that exact interaction.
Yeah, that's the exact way that you go about it.
You go, hey bestie, need a hug with little hands.
Well, yeah, that's what they do.
Why are you holding your hands like that?
They don't even knock, they just do this in front of your door until you,
Yeah,
like,
you
technically realize they're there.
You can return to Ivory's room. Is Psyche gonna be in y'all's room as well, or is Psyche kind of going elsewhere on the ship?
Psyche was gonna hang out on the whatever part of the boat is the outside part.
The deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
You can
gonna
go.
hang out there and, like, people watch. If anyone comes up to me, I'll talk with them, but I'm not gonna really initiate conversation. I'm just gonna sketch in the corner.
Yeah, the top deck is mostly...
Psyche's gonna be that. Oh, sorry. Psyche's gonna be that type of person who's like. There's always like on a boat. There's always like this big section that is often where they keep a lot of like the life preservers and stuff like that. And you can lay on it during the day if you want, depending on the boat. I picture Psyche just fucking starfished out on that thing 24/7. Sometimes you're allowed to sleep on it, so it depends. But Psyche probably would be there if they could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. The deck is mostly full of the deck is mostly full of crew members that are kind of busy on their own. So that isn't a very you don't see any other like people that are there on the trip up on the deck right now. That is just crew members doing their job. So
Yeah. I'm not gonna bother them. I'm just gonna sit in the corner, look at the ocean.
okay.
Also, there's something I want to do, like, tonight, like, late or, like, early morning tomorrow, but that's, like, late and not daytime activity.
All right, then that would be a Nomos first thing because I'm gonna go chronologically.
Okay. Can I grab my bread that's toasted?
Yeah, no, because I'm gonna go to Armani first.
Great.
Yeah.
Have fun. I'm gonna grab some bread.
Hydrate 2.0.
Pour up.
All right.
This is not water, but it is the drink from Ponyo.
Nice.
Tea.
Warm milk and honey.
Earl Grey, warm milk, honey, and cinnamon, actually.
That sounds so good. Anyway,
Oh yeah. That's life.
with Psyche on deck, Ivory, if you're returning to your room, then you would be the only one in that room. Would you... How long do you wait to return, Armani?
I would say probably like half an hour to be safe, just like give them time to like decompress from anything and then like kind of knock on the door. It's Armani.
Hey, it's open.
let themselves in.
It's odd to not have 7 extra locks on the door.
I know, we're gonna talk about that later. Do you want a lock? I can give you a lock.
It has a lock. I'm just...
Okay, but like, it's not a very good lock.
Psyche's not in. They need to be able to get in.
Are you okay?
Not even close.
Sorry.
It sure is.
They kind of sit next to you. Are you like on the bed, or like, where are you sitting?
When you come in, they like roll off the top bunk and sit on the floor.
They roll off the top bunk onto the floor?
Okay, I do this on this bed here. You can roll and then your legs swing down, you grab the top, your legs swing down, you sit on the floor.
Okay. Well, I guess
If you need a demo.
No, I'm good. Armani sits on the floor.
To be fair, I want to see a demo at some point.
I can right before break, sure.
I'm so scared for you, bestie. They sit next to you. Did you learn anything new, or just getting yelled at?
A bit of both. I would say I probably deserve it, and I genuinely do think I do, but I don't know.
But Ivory, I know, doesn't deserve it.
Sure. Yeah. It's them and some other old friends. I didn't know how much was missing, but enough that nothing is really worth it, if I say sorry. So. I had friends. Apparently.
Yeah?
I didn't think I had friends.
Were they one of them?
Supposedly. We were pretty shit, apparently. So. Yeah. Stuck together. Apparently.
No, we're going back. Do you want to see if you can get those memories back?
I think so. No, I do. Yes. Too much is gone, and it's chance again. It's things I didn't want to forget, and that's selfish, but you know what I am, so
Not selfish.
that's no, I am. I didn't want to live with it. What did you say?
Said you wouldn't have done half the things that you've done for us, for me, if you were a selfish person. You've maybe done bad things, made poor choices, but that doesn't make you a bad person or a selfish person. Makes you a person. And the fact that you're willing to go back and remember in an effort to actually apologize, I think says a lot. And it doesn't say that you're selfish. That's not, yeah.
They just kind of shrug and sure. And you can probably tell they don't really believe you.
Oh no,
but
absolutely not. Absolutely not. And whatever we find out happened, I'm still gonna be here. You're still gonna be here by your side. I hope you know that.
Thanks. They offer you some shrooms.
Yeah.
And they just kind of take a handful. They're like, they just look at them. These were not worth it. And then they eat them.
Yeah, I mean, where we're going, there's tons of them just growing in the ground. You can take a whole stash of them with you. And do this.
I could just pour out the whole bag of them, but you know.
And Armani's hand is kind of like laying flat open on the floor, and it's not like a very obvious thing, but it's like a subtle like, if you want to hold my hand, it's there.
Hold on. Let me I rolled a 7 on my perception to try to see if I'm in my feelings too much.
No! God damn
What
it!
other campaign do we roll to see if
People in
people
chat
can
that
be...
you can force failures and successes
Yeah.
on rolls.
You can
Remind the
donate
chat
below
that
to
you can
force
force
successes
failures.
or failures on rolls. It would not be the weirdest thing we had used that mechanic.
It would
Someone
not be
could
the
do
weirdest
stop you violated the law.
Yeah,
let
someone
the-
could do
let
stop
the-
you violated the law and force the handhold.
Here's the thing. I'm saving mine because I am 800 away from 69,000 channel
You
points.
also can't use
And also I can't use
You
them.
don't get to.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't get to use them. But if someone else were to use stop, you violated the law. Then you can do that.
Alright, well, unless a stop you violated the law comes in or something similar.
Unless-
There it is!
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they grab some more shrooms and they just kind of like look at them and then they like place them in your hand and then just leave their hand there.
I can't eat these if you're in your hand. Okay.
I'm in physical pain.
Okay, specifically the stop you... Okay, wait. Okay, now I get it. Alright.
Oh my god.
They are holding hands.
They're holding hands.
They are more than friends. Yes.
They are friends, perhaps more. Also, here's the thing. You are now holding dried mushrooms between both of your palms. If you hold your hands there and they get like sweaty, those mushrooms are going to reabsorb the fucking sweat from your palms and just be soggy ass.
What if we
Old
didn't talk about
mushrooms.
this? What if we didn't talk about
They're
this?
magic. They are magic shrooms. You know, I think they can just stay dehydrated.
I'm gonna say that as well. So for now...
Well,
shrooms
it's like, let me
handled.
rewrite the Aldrithe cookbook real quick.
For now.
Magic shrooms never rehydrate once
It's
dehydrated.
only those shrooms, though, because of purpose. Anyway.
Because
Anyway.
they're from the magic bag.
Anyway. Two of you can hold
The magic
hands,
bag is a dehydrator.
and then just kind of hang out there for a while. We want to kind of zoom out, pan off from that scene.
Yeah, it's probably like a good hour.
Yeah, of just holding hands.
Yeah, the shrooms get removed eventually because
Very-
Ivory
Very
forgets
holding.
Ivory forgets that they were giving the shrooms to Armani and then eats them themselves and then puts their hand back.
God.
God.
Alright. So, next on the chronological agenda then is Nomos.
Now, I wanna make something clear. Nomos had to fight to say "sir," because the only ever term that he's
Did
used
once.
for a
Oh, never mind. Yeah, I see what you're gonna say. Yeah.
yeah, he had to fight to say "sir" because the title that he always refers to people with a
Father?
higher stake
Is
in
it
him in
father?
the church is
Is
father.
it father?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to
Father?
fight for that
Sorry. Father?
one. Father? Sorry.
No!
Father? Sorry.
God damn it.
Father? Sorry.
No!
I think Nomos should just call the stranger daddy, though. I don't know. That's
No,
just me.
stop.
I disagree. But yeah. What's dinner on the ship look like? Give me some
Nomos.
give me some
It feels like home.
ah
In terms of this is like the plainest motherfucking like this is like beef stew at least. Like it's fancy home.
yeah.
Like it's getting up
The
there.
good shit.
But yeah, it's the good shit.
Hardtack and beef broth with salt.
Hardtack and
Fuck
beef
yeah.
broth, but it's actually got chunks of meat in it.
Bullshit.
No, it's really
Can I tell
Magically
can I tell-
preserved to last on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think
Also, you
magically
just left-
preserved would taste better than just salted.
You also
which is
just
probably
left
what's
a
used.
port. You can still eat things within their expiry date right now that would not last for a long time.
I see. Here's the thing: we haven't been keeping track of like Nomos's food inventory because we don't take track of rations. But
Fuck
Nomos
rations,
is
just
so
straight people
fucking
D&D.
happy because now he is able to use something that he's always thought you were supposed to use when you eat in a public place, and Nomos pulls out his mess kit.
There you go.
And he is so fucking prepared. Does Gorodar also have a mess kit?
Yeah, Gorodar does have a mess kit.
Man after my own heart.
And Gorodar arrives a
God.
little bit after you. I imagine that Nomos probably got there a little bit too early, just because.
Nomos arrives at everything early.
Yeah.
He's the person who shows up to the school dance to hang out with the teachers like 20 minutes early.
Yeah.
This is not coming from experience, I promise.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, no, sure. What? Yeah. Yeah, Nomos is there early. He's digging into his beef broth, salt, and what is probably rehydrated jerky. Yeah, he's just going to town on it.
Yeah.
Actually, I think normally he would be. I think he might just be sitting there holding the spoon so tightly in his hand that it is.
Yeah.
I don't think he's actually touched it yet. Usually he'd be going to town on that shit. I don't think he's touched it.
Yeah, you're
It
sitting
smells
there.
like home, and I don't think that's okay.
Yeah. You're sitting there, and it's kind of a lot at once to deal with the waiting and the anxiety that comes with that, and that combined with the very like prominent reminder of exactly what it seems like, again, of everything being wrong and the more things that you have to learn, and you're kind of caught up in it until a moment later, just while you're very lost in your thoughts. Gorodar comes and just kind of sits down in front of you, with the mess kit with all the broth in it, and kind of sits down and is like, "You all right? You don't look like you're here right now."
I tend to go elsewhere.
I can tell that.
Bad habit.
Seems like an adventurous habit.
Sometimes.
I mean, if
It's
you're
funny.
an
You'd think it
adventurer,
would
you're
happen
going
less
places.
when You'd think it would happen less when I actually started going out and doing things. But in reality, what you think about just changes.
Yeah,
No.
I'd say
You
that.
spend all your life up, you dream of adventure, and then once you're an adventurer, all you dream of is back home. For better or for worse.
Yeah. I've never done too much dreaming of adventuring on my own, but I can definitely relate to that second part.
You, you said you had been doing research. That was the purpose of your whole journey.
Yeah, I mean, I've grown up with the people that I know what they study, I know what they feel, but there are a lot of different ways of studying and worshipping Elnet, and I felt like, broaden my horizons, figure out more, go see how other people worship would be educational, and it certainly was educational. Not all of it was enjoyable, but educational nonetheless.
Forgive me, I'm eating gummies.
That's good. I understand the gummy grind.
I'm eating my vitamin gummies.
Yes.
Adult multivitamin.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, those were not fully chewed.
Yeah.
They went down whole. They went down whole.
Sure. That seems like a you problem.
I'm gonna pay for that later.
Yeah.
But right now, D&D doesn't stop for anyone, not even my jaws. Yes. No. I will tell you that if your goal is knowledge, maybe the Temple of the Divine Magistrate would be for you, because you would definitely learn some things. I would not stay.
Based off of the way you reacted, it doesn't seem like that learning would be worth it.
Insight is insight.
Depends. I can tell you've got a question sitting just right on the tip of your tongue. You can just ask it. You've got something you want to say, I can tell.
I don't actually know. There's so many questions. Again, what I told you, the only people I've ever known who knew about this or were willing to speak about it were people who I either would not enjoy speaking to, or people who would not dignify me with a response if I asked.
You
said
King Galadon was responded to the High Inquisitor thing? What did he have to say about it? I mean, it would make sense that he had at least done a little bit of his research. I would certainly hope so, but what would he have to say about it?
He said he was impressed, and he said he hadn't seen one in a long time.
Well, I guess that is accurate.
But when I was being raised, it was... my whole purpose was to be that High Inquisitor, to be Judas, to be the mouthpiece of our silent scale bearer, and to right the world's innumerable wrongs. That's how it was always put. A lot for a kid.
A lot for a kid, and not what a High Inquisitor does. Did.
What did they do?
High Inquisitor... she never worked alone. That was the whole point. She was part of the High Council. She had her jobs, and then the others, I would argue, being the voice or representation of Elnet would be, well, the Vox Statera's job.
I don't know what any of these words that you're saying. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'll break it down from the beginning. Okay? By my knowledge, based off of the stuff that I've done in my research and the way that I was taught, which is not necessarily correct, before the Divine War, after Elnet came into being and came into her own, but before the Divine War, a small group of religious scholars were chosen by Elnet in order to represent her and were considered the ruling authority on her teachings for a very long time. This was the High Council of Elnet. It was an all-feminine council, and for a while it was debated whether or not they were actually just mortal aspects of Elnet herself. That was part of the thing with them being all feminine in some way. But the overall thought at the end of the day appears to be that in the end they were just like people, just chosen ones. And there were 4 of them: Judas, the High Inquisitor; Discipluis, the High Historian; Cura, the High Caretaker; and Vox Statera, who stood on her own.
Can you tell me all those names and roles again? I want so badly to take good notes for once in my life.
I'll very
so
quickly
Judas,
just...
High Inquisitor.
Yeah, Judas High Inquisitor. Discipluis, the High Historian. I will send how that is spelled in the chat. This is... I mean, this is Latin that I am attempting to pronounce correctly and kind of butchering. But there is Discipluis, there is Cura, and Vox Statera is the other one. They all had their own purposes. I'll wait until you type it.
Thank you.
But... Alright, good to go?
Yes.
Okay. They all had their own purposes. And Judas was the investigator. I mean, again, I got joked around that with some of my friends that I was the Judas of the group because I have always been a little obsessed with the research aspect of things. The whole thing was Judas would do a lot of studying of moral and quandaries and ethical research, but that was often conflated with being obsessed with punitive justice. I would argue, based off of my readings, that that's not right. There's many that make it more clear that she was more focused around finding the best way to reclaim justice and equality without unnecessary moralizing, and was also the most willing of the group to kind of tear things down in order to rebuild, which I think is where she got that punitive reputation, but I don't necessarily think that is represented in the things we have. Now, the things we have are very limited. That is because of Discipluis, who was assassinated before the beginning of the Divine War. High Historian, self-explanatory. It seemed like she tried to chronicle as many of the visions and teachings of Elnet that was passed on to the group, and individuals that they came across, as possible for reference in the future. There was the goal to create a single unified record. This record was the Incarnatus, but it was never completed and only located after the Divine War in fragments. So everything we know about the High Council and the teachings of Elnet are just these fragmented pieces of Discipluis' work. Technically, these are all the Judas, the Discipluis, but as titles, not as names, but it's unclear if there were ever more than one. It was a possibility that they could be passed down, but it was unclear if there was ever more than one or if it was the same group. Then there's Cura, who was dedicated to compassionate aspects of justice and law, was often kind of set up in stories as the counterbalance to Judas, and that kind of helped bring her down to earth and remind her of like the sacrifices that would be made in pursuit of relentless justice, the kind where you tear it down as opposed to compassionate. The two of them tended to balance each other out a little bit. And then the Vox Statera was the leader of the High Council that was the voice of Elnet, the primary recipient of visions and messages. A lot of people say that if she may have been like a primary host of a spirit of some kind, and talk about her being like possessed in order to give things. I mean, some even speculate that modern physical features associated with depictions of Elnet in statues and things are actually based on the Vox Statera's physical appearance, because that was how she would present through her. But that's really just speculating in my own theory. But the High Council was dissolved during the Divine War. It didn't survive the Divine War. It started with the assassination of Discipluis, and then with the knowledge that was lost after Discipluis was killed. The rest, the world was already being razed to the ground. Scholarly work didn't survive. That's really all we know. But that is what the title is associated with. There hasn't been a High Inquisitor in hundreds of years because of that, and she wouldn't be alone. I mean, you're not alone, but I didn't get the impression that everyone in the group makes up those four.
No. A few of us have godly connections, some of us don't. Honestly, my family's godly connection is not one of Elnet, though I was raised to believe it was. My stock come from devout worshippers of Passionai.
And now you worship Elnet?
Not by choice. Not originally, anyways. Taken in by the temple when I was a child. 8 or so. She was a investigator of right and wrong. She was someone who sought knowledge.
Sought understanding. I think it was... Everyone always says such things are right, such things are wrong. I always got the impression, based off of the writings that we have, that it wasn't necessarily that she had an incredibly strong idea of right and wrong. It was trying to figure out if those concepts even had any purpose. Judas always seemed to be, in the writings, the more active of one of the more active ones. In terms of the approach that she always wanted to take, in terms of, well, of course, sometimes things cannot be saved, they have to be just destroyed so new things can rise from the ashes, and that was something that Judas would talk about, but that is something that a lot of people would associate, that destruction with evil, with bad, with some sort of morality. And I think one of the things that she just tried to understand was how to make this intense moralizing work and make that make sense when sacrifices were necessary. It was an interesting study. She wasn't the most well-read of the entire group. That would probably have been to Sheep Lewis, but just based off of purpose alone. But it was a near-obsessive pursuit, according to what we know.
The Judas that I knew, the title, was a will made physical. It was justice incarnate by any means. It was a force to fix every transgression in the world and to slay those who would enforce it. And I was a weapon, raised as one and set upon the world, simply hoping for the best, hoping that those teachings would make me fill whatever purpose I was meant to fill. And I did. For a while. It was all I'd known. I spent nearly nigh upon 20 years at the School of Teaching, and the only thing that made sense to me was that anger and that feeling of having something taken away from me, and he used it. One day I did kill. Yes, it was self-defense, but I had prepared for it to be my absolution, my final moment of realization that this was my doubts were simply just that, doubts. They were obstacles thrown in my way to prove that I could truly be Judas, that I could truly be what I was supposed to be, and all I felt was sick. I felt like I had killed someone. I didn't feel like I'd killed a wrongdoer or someone who was a casualty in the name of justice and all that is right and true. I just felt the heavy weight of a sword in my hand and resistance as I pulled away.
How old are you, son?
27, I think.
I'm sorry. I don't know your struggles. I'm a pacifist myself, so I've never been through that, but I see where the misunderstanding of the idea of Judas came from, but that doesn't make it any better or excuse the things that were done to you in the name of it. And I'm sorry for that.
It wasn't all... I haven't only learned things that were bad. The things that I have learned that are genuinely important are things that I learned on my own, not through any help of my father. The father, capital F, the man who ran the temple. I doubt you know the name of an Omeros Select.
No, I don't.
Well, this may be the second time you look at me today and think that I'm mad, but well, the first time, understandable.
I was a little
this
worried
time-
about you there. Now I'm worried about you in a different way.
I'll be fine. No need to worry. But that energy is best put elsewhere. But
No, I'm still gonna worry. If anything, because... No, I'm not gonna say that, but I'm still gonna worry.
what? I think we're at a level of conversational comfortability. I told you how I killed a person. I think
Yeah,
that all
you
cause
did. But
I mean, I introduced myself first. That's usually a. I've mistakenly not done that before.
what I was going to say is I have a daughter, and I've raised her in Elnet. And it breaks my heart to think that something that happened to you could have happened to her. And I hope to raise her better than your father raised you. And that's not your fault. It's just something that's sticking into my head because I know that if someone did that to Rue, I would kill them.
You will. You will raise her better. I know we've just briefly met, but well, for one, you don't have too much competition. I hope for everyone's sake that no one else has to go through what I went through. It wasn't all for nothing. It made me the person I am.
Nothing is ever for nothing. Even if it doesn't work out the way you want it to. There's always something that you can gain out of it, and it looks like all that you went through, as much as it was, and I'm not trying to diminish the effect it had on you, but it wasn't wasted. It kept you alive. It got you here. It got you something that you want to go home to. It's not a waste. It's just harder. Harder to get through, harder to move on from.
Have you, in your time in practice or in research or anything, have you ever heard her? Like really, not just pushing you in a direction or a feeling like something is, you know, something is truly right or just, not like that, not a feeling. I mean, hear her.
No, I don't really need to.
Have you met anyone? What?
I don't need to. I mean, I know she's there, but I do things. I do things because I know they're right. And she supports that. I know what I'm doing is right, and I know what I'm doing is in the name of Velnet. I don't need an order. It's my plan. I try to make things better. I try to bring justice wherever I go. And that's all the devotional I need.
When I was a boy, I prayed at the feet of her. Yeah.
Sorry.
When I was.
Oh god.
Oh,
We're
God
having a
damn
moment.
When I was a boy, far younger, I would pray at her statues, day in and day out. Whenever I wasn't doing tasks of cleaning or sleeping, I was kneeling and asking for guidance and asking for some kind of direction, answers. I know that isn't quite her field, but I had always believed that just feeling of going or like where to go, that feeling of direction, that feeling of self actualization was her. Whether or not it was, I mean, it got me where I am. But then she actually spoke to me. I was at my lowest point. I had had a hand in something that I couldn't have avoided, but I wasn't proud of. And yes, she spoke, and yes, that was amazing, and it was groundbreaking, and I had never experienced something like that before. I'd never called out and actually heard back, and how many times I had called out. But at that point, all that could play my mind was, if she could now...
This
sorry, are
isn't
you
him
reaching?
making a gesture, this is me trying to get my camera to focus.
I thought you were just like, stop!
No, I'm just trying to get my camera to focus.
All that I could think of was, if she could now, why not then? If she has the power that she bestows upon me, why did nothing come? Why did no one save me? Did I deserve to be where I was?
No.
And
Nomos, you were a child. Deserving was a part of it. I don't know why she does the things she does. No amount of shredded parchment can give you that answer. But that doesn't mean that you did anything wrong for a lack of understanding. You are not held accountable for what was done to you. It isn't your fault. That is the responsibility of the one that did it.
it's just funny to me that you spend your entire life reaching out and hoping to find some understanding, and you do, and then the one day that she actually responds is a day that I've never felt more lost.
Did it help you feel less lost?
At the moment, maybe. At the moment, I felt like I had achieved my goal. I had finally done something deserving of getting a response, something that made me worthy enough, and that was fantastic. And then I realized the implications. We speak rarely. It's not a conversation. It's I plead, and if I am in a great enough moment of need, I get one word, maybe two. The most I've ever gotten is three. What I've basically consigned myself to is I know that something is keeping her. I don't know what it is or how it happened, but I'm going to do the best of my ability to find out what happened, and if I can, I free her, and then I'm done.
Sounds fair enough to me.
Just you were never set upon a journey. You didn't have a mission.
No, I make my own mission.
Well, I'm very happy that you have lived the life that you have, and are lucky enough to. Well, others are lucky enough to have the experience of growing up with you. All that entails. It's... Sorry, I'm kind of. Once you put it all out, it's I don't know quite where to go from there. But
You want a hug?
I'm sorry.
Yes, please.
You want a hug?
I want one.
Sure. Yes.
Come here. And he stands up and he kind of walks around the table. Has to make his way down a little bit. Takes a minute for him to get over. But he walks over and just kind of, it's the armor. You know, it's not always the most comfortable, but...
Yeah, he
He's a good hug.
There's just a sound of just clanking metal against metal.
Anyone else who is
loud.
in there eating, like, this probably draws your attention if you weren't already kind of snooping.
Yeah. I hope people tuned in after the end. You know, when I killed them, all I felt was the weight of my sword in my hand.
Yeah,
and
you
the
know, you
resistance
don't know. But, any of y'all who may or may not be eating dinner at this time, you are kind of, your attention is drawn by the little bit of a pots and pans clatter, but, he gives you a solid pat on the back, and just kind of lets you decide how long that hug is going to last.
I think he
firm.
kind of gets lost in it. I think it's a little longer than is not embarrassing. For Nomos, it's a good 5 to 10 seconds. Long enough to. Oh. I mind.
I do feel like the representation of Nomos' psyche right now is Milo curled up against Floyd right now.
I I want to pet Milo so
Look at
bad
his
that makes
little
me look stupid.
paw.
He's a
He's so
little guy.
He's holding
cuddly.
on.
I was just saying in our DMs how that's them in the other room.
God. But no, I don't mean to make your first day on the ship as memorable as it is.
Eh,
I don't know what you've seen, perhaps not, but
sometimes a kid half your age has to come in and admit to you that he killed a man. You know, it happens.
what?
I'm kidding.
Oh, I thought you said that you had people half my age come into
No,
you.
half my
and-
age.
Oh. All right. then,
Little
yeah,
more, little more, but I'm not that old yet.
I couldn't tell.
Is that an insult?
No, it was you. You don't look like old.
Thank you.
I'm very good at some things, and talking to people is not one of them.
I did get that impression.
Yes, or oratory skills are not my. I'm not great at it.
That's okay.
If I were better, I would have been a cleric.
If anything, I might have expected more oratory skills from a cleric. Anyway.
Nomos finally starts eating his soup, and he's like, "Oh, this
Yeah,
is
he's
good.
kind of just like, yeah,
It's cold."
yeah, it's cool. He's just kind of like, you need to eat something, kid. You enjoy that. I'm gonna go back to my room. Is that okay?
Oh, did you not eat? Have you been eating this whole
Yeah,
time?
he's been eating the whole time. Every time I drink my actual cup of tea, he's been holding like his drink and eating. Like this is an in character thing.
Nomos has a like. I have the moment of I talk so much while I'm like at dinner, and then I look down, and then I realize that like everyone's completely done except for me. Moment.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll be around. I would still like to speak. Not. I promise not all of it will be just me pouring my story at you. There is still some to go. I don't think we're at that yet. I mean, maybe I started with the murder. Well, self-defense. There is more. I'll pace it out. But I did want to speak to you on other just matters of faith. You seem to be the only person who has agreed with me on various opinions and, beliefs regarding Alette and what worshipping her entails, and, where do you stand on the blindfold on the statues? Because that was a new thing for me here.
You know what? We've got 5 weeks to talk about this. Why
Yes,
don't we take
later.
it a bit at a time for the sake of you just kind of
Your sanity really.
gestures. But
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Is there anything else I should call you other than just first name? Is there...
I mean, I have a last name if you want it.
Good to know in case I ever.
I think Floyd wants it.
Floyd wants it to keep.
I was gonna say Floyd wants to keep that last name.
Yeah.
So we don't have to like a fan wants it. They want to have it.
God. Yeah. I'll take the last name.
It's Goradar Thresh.
Bardar Thresh.
Like the League of Legends character.
I was hoping you
or the
wouldn't say
fucking
that.
verb.
It's closer to the verb.
But no, it's. Is it not spelled like the League of Legends character?
Which is also spelled like the verb.
Yeah, no,
the
I
verb,
know.
yeah.
I'm an English major.
It's the bird. It's same thing. Same thing. It's the burb.
It's the bird.
But yeah. I will say.
I think I let him
for
continue on
our
with his night.
for our
for his
arcane
soup.
fans in chat, I did notice in the actual party chat them saying I'm picturing him as Orc Vander. I'm exposing all of you first of all, and second of all, yes, that is what he looks like. Except he has more
Yes,
like a
I was
salt
just
pepper hair. But yes, I am
Very
fighting
good,
for my
very
life.
good.
So, after that point, Gorodar leaves, kind of gives you another like pat on the shoulder before he makes his way off. But yeah, it's gentle.
Nomos has
It's
not felt
a little
paternal
worried.
affection, or remotely even paternal affection, in decades.
I think it might be a lot. You might need some time to calm down a little bit from it. And so Nomos can have some time before we come back after break. All right, friends.
Yay!
I need to make some more tea. I need to get a bit of a snack. So, we have a lot of people viewing today and in chat. So, if you have not been here before, our breaks last 10 to 15 minutes, usually about 12 minutes. During that time, we encourage everybody to get some more water, a snack, something, and of course, we have our weekly binder check. If you are one of our friends that wears a binder, please stretch, take a very deep breath, make sure that you can breathe without pain, without too much of a struggle, and take it off if you are feeling that ache. Also, make sure to put it on your agenda that remember, you need to wash the binder, just like any other piece of clothing. But
I washed mine for the first time in a while recently, and it was transcendental.
fantastic.
Please, it feels so
Proud
much
of you.
better to wear clean clothes.
Also, Vinny, I love you dearly, but you can fall off the thing during break.
No. They want to see.
They
This
can
is
see.
true.
They know you.
This is for everyone. Hold on.
Oh God. Oh no.
Goodbye, my attempts at professionalism. Oh, well, that's not like a straight fall.
Oh.
That's like, okay, that's whatever.
I was expecting you to
You
roll
can just
horizontally.
roll off.
Either
I was
way.
picturing you rolling just like
Yeah, exactly.
and
Just
then
taking a
rolling
hard
your
hit.
back on the floor.
Anyway. We will be discussing the mechanics of getting off of the top bunk of a bed during break. And if you'd like to stick around and continue debating those things in chat, of course, that will still be available while our art reel is going. Other than that, we will be back in 12 to 15 minutes. And yes.
Oh, sorry. This is just, we haven't talked about the art reel in a while. If you
Yeah.
have art that you want to have on the stream, you can do that, and you can send it to us on our Twitter, and we can put that up on our little slideshow. We will credit everybody where it is due. And yeah, sorry, we don't talk about that a lot.
Yeah,
I
we
think
don't
it's
talk
a very,
about it
very
enough.
cool
There's a
thing
fun
to do.
little art reel, and we'd love to add new stuff to it. So you can check that out too if you're new around here to see some of the fun stuff during the break. All right, we'll be back in 12 to 15 minutes. Go ahead and get those good snacks, get that good rehydration, and we will be back very soon. See y'all in a bit. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There we go. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hope I didn't
I
jump
was the
scare
only one
people
to
too
do the
bad.
nya this time, and I feel let down.
Aww.
You're all my
Oh,
best friends.
no.
You're abandoning the nya. Oh well.
God.
I'm
Either
sorry,
way,
I spilled
hi.
cake.
You're all
I've
so
been trying to
mean.
scoop it up.
That is all right. Welcome back, all. So excited to see you.
Drith. All Drith.
Aldrithe.
Drift.
Aldrithe? Yes.
How much with?
All Drith.
All.
All of it.
Aldrithe all the time. Either way. Gotta clear the...
The all
The
end the
DM
drift from your
throat.
throat.
Yeah. So, I hope you all got snacks and refills on your water and stuff as necessary. But, if everyone has, then are we ready to get back into things? I don't have any more announcements, so I can just hop right back in.
Please.
Okay. So, we re-enter. That is dinner time. Is there anything else that anyone would like to bring up happening at dinner time? Okay.
I believe Psyche has something for after.
Yes, Psyche has something for after.
I want to check in with Nomos and effectively just be like, hey, you good?
Sick dad you found.
I wasn't there.
Oh, you were there in the beginning. Yeah, you weren't there for the. Yeah, okay.
I was people watching. But we check in. I don't feel the need to hash that out specifically, but
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would like to ask you about it and hear about it.
How honest is Nomos gonna be about it?
Completely. It's Psyche.
Yeah.
Aw.
Aww.
Okay.
Character growth.
So you get a little
Remember when we just
update.
fucking
Nomos
argued?
tries not to lie to anybody, and especially not Psyche.
Also, can you turn up your gain just a wee bit?
God damn it. Okay,
Sorry,
yeah.
I was a bit
Better?
far away.
No, you're good, Ewan.
No, that's
Saying it was
me.
quiet.
Oh, okay.
I'm just quiet.
All right.
How's this? Is it better?
That's good. Both the Absola siblings have a case of the mumblies. We all know.
Yeah.
I'm also a far away because I have a plate in front of me because I
No,
didn't
you're
get.
valid. That's
Yeah,
good.
my mic is farther away because I'm drawn Psyche.
Nice.
Oh, it's all white.
Yeah.
You
Either
can't see
way.
anything.
Either way, that is totally good. So, dinner time, quick check-in with the Absola siblings. Other than that, if no one else has anything to do during dinner, then we can do whatever Psyche is up to.
So, what I want to wait until Ivory is asleep and until most of the people on the ship are also asleep. And at that point, I would like to take my knife out of the knife bag. Because I've been carrying it not on my person.
Where are
I'm
you
gonna
when
put
you
it
do this?
In our room.
in our room.
Okay.
I would like it to be back on my person, on my leg. And I want to go back out to the deck.
Okay.
Are you gonna fucking big fish it?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and fucking throw it over the side of the deck.
All right.
I don't think it's gonna work, but I am gonna try.
You kind of walk up.
Melius, help me out.
You walk up there and you kind of approach the side of the boat, and actually there is someone else that is non-crew up there right now as you get up there. They must have arrived since you left, and it's the person with the red hair and the crow's wings that is just kind of peering over the edge of the side of the boat. I figure you're in kind of a different side of the boat, but I'll check real quick to see if she
Are
spots
they
you.
allowed in the crow's nest? Is that what's happening here? Or...
Nomos
Is
is
it
just
like a
thinking about
club?
this as he dreams.
Either way, you can approach the side, different place to where she is, and you just try to chuck it.
I just pull it. I like look around to, because I know we're not supposed to have weapons on board. It's fine because I'm getting rid of it, but I don't really know how to explain. I'm trying to get rid of a cursed knife.
You could just say you're getting rid of a knife that's attached to painful memories. It doesn't have to be cursed. It can just be a bad
Yeah,
knife.
that's what I'm gonna bring up if people bring it up. But is anyone on deck who is like looking? Is there like a crew member?
The crow person noticed you, but nobody. It doesn't seem like any of the crew is paying attention.
I sort of put my back to as many people on the ship as I can. Ideally everyone, but I take out the knife and I just close my eyes and I try and throw it.
Okay. You throw it. Do you open your eyes to see if it lands?
Yeah.
It does. You chuck it as far as you can and just watch it splash. Little tiny one. Good way away.
Just sort of under my breath, I say to myself, "Is that it then?"
You don't really get a reply on that one.
Okay. I just look out at the waves for a little while, and then I go back to my little corner. Just sort of sit there, draw for a while, and then go back to our room if the crow person doesn't come up to me. I don't want to bug them. What are they? What does it look like they're doing? Can I like perception check to see what
You
they're
can make
doing?
a perception check, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Are they also throwing away a cursed knife? That'd be weird.
No.
They're trying to break into the crow's nest.
Funny coincidence.
So that was a 5.
A 5? You're not really
Man,
sure what
clarity.
they're doing. It seems like they're just kind of looking out over. There it seems like they're also people watching, as best you can tell. But also just watching the ocean.
Yeah.
They must not have to deal with too much seasickness, but because they seem to be handling it with, like a champ.
Yeah. All right, then I go back to my room.
Yeah. She doesn't disturb you. You see her, like, looking over at you a couple times in kind of the mutual acknowledgement of we are both people watching. And...
The moment of, we both sort of like just standing in the back of a room, right?
Mhm.
Yeah? Yeah, okay.
A bit of mutual understanding. And then you go back down to your room. And if there's nothing else to do for the night, then you all can go to sleep.
Yep.
Okay. So, I have one more thing I specifically want to do the next day. But other than that... yeah.
And as you fall asleep,
Not yet.
Oh,
and as the warm cover of unconsciousness goes over you,
Not yet.
Nothing happens.
But...
and then you wake up.
And then you wake up. No, we can enter a little bit of another bit of a zoom out, because again, we got 5 weeks to cover. The next couple days, I have one that I would like to do immediately. What are our overall things that we want to start doing in the short term?
Short term?
Yeah.
Nomos is avoiding looking at the horizon line whenever he fucking can. If he does go on...
Oh
like,
yeah, you
top
have a seasickness potion?
no, it's for emergencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, surprise. I actually purchased seasickness poison. It is
It
a
makes
poison
you
that if I make
seasick.
somebody drink it,
Potion
it makes
that
them
makes you
seasick.
seasick.
Yeah,
Potion of... No. It's gonna make it joke.
listen. If it is called a seasickness potion, who's to say that it doesn't do that?
It makes you sick, but it only works if you're on the sea.
False advertising. I say, hey, is this a seasickness
It
potion?
actually
They're like,
treats
it sure
scurvy.
fucking is.
No.
No one
Oh
can
yeah,
do that.
how good is... Sorry, go ahead.
I want to, at some point in the next, like, week or so, talk to the crow person and also to Gorodar.
Okay.
Just
Other
at some point.
general agendas?
I'd like to get to know the other people on the ship, but yeah.
The lovely elderly Aarakocra couple, I want to talk to them so bad. I also want to talk to the satyrs because I love satyrs so much. I don't know if Nomos will actively seek them out, but if Nomos, like, you know... Nomos might stop by the elderly couple.
Okay. So
Just
Nomos
like
wants to
if
visit...
they happen to be eating at the same time.
Yeah.
He'll talk to them, and if he's ever in a place with like a group of people, Nomos is not necessarily good at being sociable, but he likes it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll talk to the two couples, the satyrs and the Aarakocra.
Get some couple-y advice.
Okay, satyrs and
Hey,
Aarakocra?
You have to maintain a long distance relationship. I call them on the stone every night, but
So, Aarakocra, satyrs for that, crow person and Gorodar for Psyche. What are we looking at for Armani and Ivory? Had a little moment.
So
Yep.
I'm sorry. Who else is on the ship?
All right, there's the 2 Aarakocra elders. There's
Yes.
Naira, the person from Ivory's backstory. There's the crow-like person. There's Gorodar, the half-orc paladin. And there's 2 satyrs. There's a satyr couple. Then there's you guys, and there's the captain. Captain Starry Eyes.
Okay.
This is not any of those people, but I would like to check in on the food situation and make sure that no one else on the ship is in danger of getting scurvy based on our food supply.
Yeah.
And then also volunteer to like I hang out around the kitchens, and I'm like, Hey, can
do
I give
you
you
want
guys a
an
hand?
Yeah,
And
I
just
mean,
like see if the crew perhaps wants to
make
have
a
a hand.
persuasion check.
I'm good at cooking. I come bearing gifts, and the gifts are dried fruit things and also some other rations. Okay, hold on, wait. Why did I close my character sheet? Why? You said persuasion 18.
18. Okay. It takes a little convincing. It's not something you can immediately be like, can I join you? And they're like, ah, yeah, fuck yeah. You're just kind of like, can I help you? And they're like, sorry, who are you? Like, there's a little bit of a back and forth, like, no, like, my family, we have a restaurant, like, it's a thing, like, you have to kind of go back and forth.
I have lots of, like, I'm just, like, not doing anything else on the ship, like, all day, and I need to get my hands busy, so,
It's like an
can
internship?
I... More like a...
What?
I'm just, like, helping out.
I'm saying it could be, like, an unpaid intern.
Oh my god.
I'm not really learning, but I'm just
That's
doing...
fair. You're not learning new stuff. That's fair.
This is like volunteering at a soup kitchen.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. But,
Aldrithe have service hours?
what?
Aldrithe have service hours?
Yeah, at Airden did I have to do, community service?
Oh. Sure, if you want. I'm sure there were some
Yeah, no,
tracks that had, like, that kind
I
of
have to
thing.
make sure that... I have to make sure that the people at the kitchen write down how many hours I did.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that
and
school
you gotta
makes
log
sure
them.
that they... Yeah.
Yeah, you can, I'll say within 18 after a little bit of convincing and trying to back it up and being like, no, I promise, I can do that. I could show you, like, eventually it's like, alright, fine, you can help out, whatever. And so you can spend a lot of your days working in, like, the food, the kitchen.
Kitchen?
Yeah, the kitchen.
And I
Right.
mean, if Naira is about, then I won't avoid. I won't avoid them.
Naira is avoiding
I do
you.
want to talk. I do want to talk to them more, but I know that she doesn't want to talk to me more.
Naira comes into the galley, sees that you are serving, leaves the galley.
That genuinely happens at least twice.
Yeah.
God.
Like, you may not be actively
Yeah.
avoiding Naira, but Naira is actively avoiding you.
Understandably.
Armani, what you up to?
Yes.
Any goals?
I think I would also like to talk to I'm really interested in the Aarakocra couple. I think they sound very cool and fun, and I want to talk to them.
Okay.
And I also want to annoy the captain, I think.
Please, he specifically told you not to do that.
He
Please.
told me not to do that, and I think I'm going to anyway.
Okay.
How are you going to annoy the captain?
I think that Armani, like, they've been like, okay, LMR taught me a lot about managing my emotions, but also, like, we could fucking die. We're in the middle of nowhere and we're on the open sea, and, like, we could go off course, and, like, does he really know what he's doing? And, like, how long has he been a captain? Like, so how many more days do you think it will take for us to get to here? And how long have you been sailing, by the way?
How hard are you going after this fucking...
You're gonna get tossed overboard.
Sometimes you have to separate player from character. Ewan has such normal fucking emotions about some of the characters in Aldrithe that Nomos does not reciprocate.
Yeah. I think that Armani, like, I think it happens. I think the first time they do it, it's like in the middle of the night, they're just like staring at like the fucking the top bunk, like where Nomos is, and they're just like, we're gonna die here. Like, the ship's gonna sink, and we're gonna fucking die here. And they get up and they just like find the captain, and they're like, we're gonna die.
So this is out of anxiety specifically.
Yes, yeah. They're just like they
So,
get really nervous. They're
to
just like,
be
I'm
clear,
gonna interrogate you about your sailing
you go
experience.
track down the captain and ask him for his credentials?
Kind of.
Hey, where's your boating license?
Yeah, where's your
So hey,
sailing-
where's your license?
Can you just make a general just, like,
license for that
charisma
boat?
check for me, please?
Oh god.
You got a license for that boom?
Ooh, you
That's a
know
boat
I
joke for you
don't
boat
have good
people out there.
charisma.
You know, all the boat people who watch Aldrithe.
Okay. Dice, don't fucking fail me now.
Does anyone in this chat know boats?
17.
If you know chats, if
17?
if you know boats, leave.
Yes. It's just a surprising amount of charisma for Armani.
Yeah. At least the captain can tell that you are coming from a place that is genuine. It's not.
I'm not just gonna be mean to him for no reason.
Yeah,
I'm
like
scared.
he is pretty sure that that you are coming from a genuine place, that you're not just trying to fuck with him. And
Yeah.
so that makes him less openly antagonistic towards you. Oh boy, though. How many times does this happen? Like, how frequent is this?
I think that's a really good question. I think it happens like at least once or twice, like a week or every few days. Like they're just like they get up and they're like, I know we've talked about this,
So
but are you absolutely sure we're not gonna like tip over and die right now? Like, are you absolutely sure? So if I go to sleep right now and we tip over and sink, I'm not gonna be able to do anything because I'll be asleep.
I will have someone wake you up if it seems like something is gonna get tipped over. How about that?
Would you mind actually if I just stayed here?
Yes,
won't-
do not.
Okay.
Go back to your room.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
yes, do not.
Would you mind if I? Yes.
Oh.
that is how a lot of
So
things go. Are you being like, can I ask a question about no?
No.
No, you cannot.
Could I just check in? No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I was really worried about good.
Armani's just like asking genuine questions, and then they're like, maybe I'll ask a question like about his life or about like whatever, and he just shuts it down like, no, fuck off.
You're like, you got a wife and kids? He's like, go back to your room.
You gotta wait. You know that? Wait. The actor who plays William Riker in Star Trek had this little.
Jonathan Frakes.
What?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
Jonathan Frakes was the host on Stranger Than Fiction, and there was
Yes.
a video on YouTube.
And there's a
multiple
video
videos.
compilation. He would start all of them with, you know, like how when you do a hook for an essay, you like it's
I'm
like a little
familiar, yeah.
but it's like a question. It's like, when's the last time you cleaned your air filter?
Yeah.
Have you ever considered going on a cross-continental voyage? Like,
There are a
I-
series. One is Jonathan Frakes asks you a series of rhetorical questions for 4 minutes. Jonathan Frakes tells you you're wrong for 2.5 minutes. Jonathan Frakes tells you that you're correct for 2.5
So
minutes.
what this is
Jonathan Frakes interviews you for 4 minutes.
what this is though is the idea of, it's basically you asking the questions and then Jonathan Frakes says you're wrong for 4
You're
minutes.
Not
Because
this time. We got him.
because yeah, you
No.
you are like, you ever thought you ever been to the Tentalienne Islands before?
Do you believe in
This
ghosts?
is my job. Like little tiny back and forths.
You believe in ghosts?
Do you believe in the power of a
when,
curse?
when I saw it, it was framed as like children in 3-year-olds in quarantine when they've been home for 2 hours.
What
Um,
what I'm picturing in my mind is like the first few times this happened, Armani is like genuinely just like they come right up to them and they're like, I'm gonna freak out, we're all gonna die, and they're like, calm the fuck down and go back to your room, and they're like, okay, and they do. And then I feel like after that, when they get really anxious like that, they come out and just onto the deck. They don't say anything. I think they just kind of like sit and like maybe like have some tea, and then they ask a stupid question and they're like, go back to your room.
go home.
Captain Snowy Eyes, I flew up.
Like it gets to the opportunity. It gets to the point where like,
would you
'cause
actually
I imagine
do that? Like,
am-
if you just get really seasick, you go to the fucking Captain Pale Starry Eyes. Like,
Snowy Eyes, I
Captain,
flew
I flew
up.
up.
I feel like there was at least one, like, I feel like you introduced yourself to him at one point, and so it's
Oh,
now
yeah.
gotten to the point where at first it was like, I have this under control, Mix Auxilium, and now it's to the point where it's, hello again, Armani. How can I help you?
You walk in, auxilium, leave. Okay.
Okay.
It's fine. Okay.
Alrighty.
I was just
Here.
out. Okay.
All right.
That's
That sounds like I think that's the dynamic between them.
yeah, that's what you get to. All
Okay,
right. So there's that. That is how you annoy the captains for several days at a time. First, in
Thank
order to get
God.
something done chronologically, before we get to some of the other stuff, because there's one thing that I want to do on that next day specifically. Ivory.
Yes.
Cut it mid-spoon, sucker.
Fear in your eyes. I love
I'm
being
eating
a
ice
DM.
cream.
Um,
I didn't do anything.
you,
I just blew someone up. What?
this is probably in the evening. This happens whenever you are, like, alone in the room, so, like, Psyche is off people watching or talking with something else, and you are alone in the room, and you
They are just eating, their, like, fruit roll-up things.
Yeah, you're eating your fruit roll-ups, you're sitting there having a snack, and kind of out of nowhere, just you hear the ruffling of feathers, and kind of out of the shadow in the corner, it's dark.
Oh. Hi.
Hey, sorry, I don't mean to,
You're
know.
good. I'm sitting on the top bunk and I just, like, pat the bunk next to me.
Dark kind of gets up and looks up and kind of has to take a minute to figure out how a top bunk works. He has
Can't you
not
just,
encountered
like-
with these before.
Can't you just, like, go incorporeal and then corporeal right there?
Can't teleport. Yes and no. And he just goes to the like the step up and just kind of climbs up.
Fun fact, Ivory has not been using the ladder the entire time. They just, like, heave themselves up because they're so tall.
Tabaxi, 8-foot vertical leap. But
That too.
you can just kind of climb, whereas he kind of struggles with the ladder a little bit and then comes and sits on top and just... You know I can't help but listen in on a lot of Armani's conversations sometimes.
Yep.
We're cool. We're cool. And... we had an issue,
Yeah.
but we're cool now, you know? And
I hope so,
we're
yeah.
cool. We are.
We're cool, yes.
Yeah, we're cool, and so I can talk to you about serious stuff, because we're cool, and Armani cares about you, and we can have
Something
conversations.
wrong?
And no, it's... Sorry, this is just... I'm approaching a thing I don't want to talk about, and I'm stalling, and I'm trying to figure out how to word it.
Okay, here's this. I will not kick you off the bed.
What?
I'm not going to kick you out. Just, it's fine.
You were talking about how you felt about whatever the hell is going on with that other person. And your memory, and a lot of the stuff you were saying kind of reminded me of how I felt for a very long time. The things you said about selfishness.
Dark, is this a therapy session?
It's not, I'm trying to bond with you! I am trying to bond with you! This is a good moment,
It's fun.
okay?
We're having fun.
This is an important and emotional moment. Look.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I have done some stuff that I was not very proud of, and I was...
I'm deflecting! Yes, go ahead, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yes! Look, we're cool! I am bonding! Okay, hold on, I'm gonna start over.
Okay, hold on, wait. Ivory turns around, they just, like, they do the... Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I did a lot of things that I ended up regretting over a long period of time, and I ran away from them until I had no choice but to face them. And when I had to face them, it was really bad, and I had to deal with the consequences of my actions for the first time in a while. That's what happens when you're celestial. People don't really question stuff you do for a while, and I did some stuff. And when everything finally caught up to me and I had to stop running, I felt selfish too. Because I had dragged other people into it, and I mean, they had dragged me into it too. Like, a good part of it wasn't my fault, but that's besides the point. I dragged other people into it, and then I had run from the effects that any of it had had. And I felt like a piece of shit for a very long time. I wasn't. I mean, at the end of the day, it was kind of a dick move, but I wasn't condemned because I was scared. I mean, that's all it was. At the end of the day, everybody's selfish. Whether it's us being selfish because we want to pick out the food we like, or it's us being selfish because we want to wear this pretty outfit today, or us being selfish because we didn't want to face something we were scared of. I mean, we all do it. It's kind of part of being a person, I figured out. And I just wanted to tell you that I'm kind of the king of beating myself up about this kind of thing, and if I can make it to a point where I can stop beating myself up for the things I did while I was scared, especially the things that weren't my fault, well, you can too. And I wanted to kind of make it known that, you know, I get at least part of it. I don't understand all of it, but part of it. If you wanted to talk about it in a different way to a different person, you know.
Thank you. I guess I'm just questioning my own reality of it, and yeah, nothing makes sense, but thanks.
Yeah. Sometimes the worst part of all of it is the stuff that doesn't make sense.
I just don't know, and I can't, like, reflect even on anything because it's just not there. Can I try to like think really, really hard about it and like see if anything happens?
Sure, you can try. Make an intelligence check?
That's really low. That's a 4.
Yeah, that's gonna be a no. That is a no. You
Yeah, never
think
mind.
really hard, you got nothing.
Yeah, I feel like they just like think on it, and all that keeps replaying in their mind is, I hope you get him back, and I hope it hurts, and then there's like, okay. Ivory reaches into their bag and pulls out a fucking piece of paper, and they draw a tic-tac-toe board.
You really deflecting this conversation with tic-tac-toe right now?
Maybe.
I mean, sure, I got no room to talk. Are you starting?
Sure. they draw a little X.
And the two of you play tic-tac-toe for a while. You know, you're really starting to put together an actual system. Like, it's getting to the point where you're using the same bullshit made-up tactics over and over again, and so
The extending and...
you have like this extended rule set that you've actually put together at this point.
Extended universe.
What?
I am going to make the Tentalienne tic-tac-toe board rules.
Yeah.
God, please
Good.
do.
Yeah. No, so you tic-tac-toe for a while until Dark just gets a little too exhausted and ends up going incorporeal again to check on Armani, fretting endlessly while Armani is going, "So, Captain, no."
Yeah, just getting shut down as they try to ask these like awful questions. So like, how recently have you checked for holes in like the sails? Like, is it like a weekly thing? Is it like a daily thing?
We were just at port,
This
ma'am.
really-
We were just at port.
But that was like a few days ago.
Sir,
I mean, I feel like
Not a lot is going to change in a matter of days.
I'm just saying you can't be too careful. You just
I am
you know.
very careful. I think a good way for you to be careful would be to go back to somewhere else on the ship.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for your time. They're gonna turn and walk out, and they're gonna stop and then turn and start to ask a question, and they go, "Never mind. Good night."
Good
Turn
night.
and keep going.
You ever gone mountain biking?
And you guys can go for a bit. So we have a couple people that want to talk to the Aarakocra. We have a couple people that want to talk. We have Nomos wants to talk to the satyrs. Psyche wants to talk to Goradar, and the crow person. Does
I also
anyone-
want to check and see if my knife managed to find its way back into my supplies at some point when I am alone in my room.
make an investigation check.
Nat 1.
My God.
You don't see it.
Yes, it's
I
gone.
do- We don't need to play through this. I do think that Nomos does tell Twister just an update of, hey, we're on a boat, and you will probably have Fida for another 5 weeks. It's like, yeah, she's going to be with you for quite a while. The voyage is going to be good long time.
Oh,
How is she doing? Is she too much trouble? If so,
no.
I can make her not there.
No, she's all right. I think Dayra's
You
kind
make
of
her
having the
not
time of his
exist.
life right now. So I think we're good. 5 more weeks is a lot of time, but it'll be
If
fine.
it ever becomes too much to take care of her, again, I know she doesn't need to eat. She's not corporeal unless she wants to be, but
Yeah. She does want to be though. She like really wants to be inside, like, and corporeal, and that's not like something that really works because of the
she's a
size of the
big-
door frame. There was a slight incident with the door
Oh,
frame,
no.
but it's fine. It's fixed now.
No.
It's whatever.
I can make her stop be. I don't know actually.
No. It's fine. She's great, and we love her just as she is. It's fine. You know, dogs, pets, they're always a little all over the place. They have their own quirks. It's fine.
Usually the quirk isn't being horse-sized. I am sorry about that.
It's okay. We make it work. And like I said, I think David's kind of having the time of his life.
I promise that when we get a place, I will make sure that there is a feeder entrance that won't need to be broken through.
Okay.
Unless you don't want a feeder entrance, in which case she can not come inside.
You know how big this house is.
Well, this isn't necessarily on Autumn Island. This is, when we...
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I think that's something to think about. You
I
know.
don't know where and I don't know when, but I will make sure that we have a place.
Yeah.
If I have to fell every tree that goes into it myself.
I hope you don't have to do that, but we'll see.
I mean, listen, when I retire, I have to put these muscles to something, right? They can't just all be for show. What's the point in that?
I don't know. I like them for show.
Hey, people.
Oh, really? Okay.
And Nomos evolves after that point.
Yeah, Nomos melts. And also, yeah, I think he also does mention, like, hey, by the way, I met someone who worshipped Elnet who actually has good fucking takes, and also,
Twister's like, I don't think those are real.
like, okay, now you're lying to
Okay.
me. Okay, I get it. I lied to you about the whole case and the thing. That's fine.
Hey!
But, no, but
Sore
I-
subject.
he doesn't. He seems to know a lot. He seems to know about what my name meant, why it meant that. Hey, fun fact: the title of Judas is not supposed to be a living weapon to enforce the will of justice upon the world.
To be fair, I think we kind of knew that already. Like, we were figuring
She
that
was
one out.
She was simply an investigator into the quandaries of morality and, subjective justice.
Cool.
It seems that I'm glad at least someone has had a better experience with her than I have.
Yeah. But yeah. You can update Twister on all of that. It seems like Silvi, how is Harold the chicken doing?
I want to teach him to play Tentalienne tic-tac-toe.
You're gonna try and teach Harold to play Tentalienne tic-tac-toe, the chicken?
Yes.
Harold the chicken?
Yes.
Playing
Do you still
Tentalienne
have,
Favorite
the-
tic-tac-toe?
chicken
the
that just
sentient
got
treats?
at a market. That Harold, yes.
Do you still have the sentient treats?
Do I? Did I get more?
I don't think you got any more.
I thought you got some from the
I thought you got
Furbolg.
one, because he did
I
eat
got
one.
One.
He ate one.
Okay.
I
We gotta contact that Furbolg again, see if they mail out.
I do just want to be like checking up on him and being like, hey, did you actually get smarter or not? And basically in other time when I'm not in the kitchen talking to Dark, who I do think I like am gonna hang out with silently for a bit more over the course of these 5 weeks. But when I'm not doing those things, I am also putting him on a little harness and walking him around the deck a little bit, and trying to teach him to hold a pen.
Okay, just a little guy.
Okay,
Oh,
God.
so you're gonna try and teach. Okay, let me be clear. You are going to try and teach Harold to hold a pen.
To eventually teach him to play tic-tac-toe.
Oh,
to
so
Talon
not
style.
just the rules to hold a pen in order to make the actual markings. Like, we're going that far.
Practice partner. I can't get a one-up on Dark if I don't have a practice partner other than Dark.
Okay. Make an animal handling check?
For like the first like 2 to 3 weeks or however long it takes, they are just trying to teach Harold to hold the pen. I think it's gonna take a bit.
Make an animal handling check.
It's a 17.
Oh my fucking god.
Okay. I mean, he is a chicken.
He's a chicken.
Not necessarily. I'm not talking about this from an intelligence standpoint. I'm taking this from a dexterity of holding the pen standpoint here.
Parrots do wild shit with their beaks, Mhairi.
Are we trying to turn Harold into a parrot here?
I mean, it's
No,
like,
so
you know.
I'm offering it to him in like, you can hold it in your hand, in your claw, or you can hold it in your beak, and I'm rewarding him if he grabs it, and then I'm showing him that if you...
Pavlov Rooster.
We just gotta stop you violated the law. Harold isn't usually good at tic-tac-toe.
So, as Harold's intelligence is
power.
enforced by the chat,
If I had a nickel for every time that we have gotten a request to make Harold more powerful from that particular person,
I
I'd
have
have
at least 3 nickels.
yeah.
3, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Harold has apparently, according to chat, above average intelligence and dexterity for a chicken.
Fantastic.
Almost suspiciously so. To the point where after even a week, you've got him using his beak to start drawing properly. And he's started to get the hang of the basics of tic-tac-toe. However, he's
The
definitely
first
playing...
time...
Hmm?
The first time he does it, does he do an X or an O?
An X.
Okay, I look him dead in the eye and I go, we're taking you on the road. You're gonna play people competitively.
Harold just...
I don't know why there was such the face that you made as a rooster that has been on a journey to sentience, looking upwards at the eyes of an uncaring god. You had so much depth behind your gaze. There were millions
Someone give me an
upon millions of unquantifiable stories told beyond those
Mhairi
eyes.
plays a chicken. It is their best performance yet.
Right.
Give me an Oscar.
There was so much emotion behind those glassy, lifeless eyes that was trapped in this avian form without means of communicating to the greater
Yeah,
outside
babe.
world. I love using
You seem a
words
little
of-
stunned.
I love using words of extreme import on little things like this. It's just fantastic. You are
Beautiful.
so talented.
The first time that he draws this X, I am going to just slam my hands down and I'm like, Dark, get in here.
Startle the
right
fuck
now.
out of the chicken. I'll say it for the sake of comedy. Armani is in the room over at this point, so Dark just kind of like spawns in because he hears you through the wall, and he's like, "You fucking did it! You mad genius!
Look,
What the fuck?"
I'll get him to do it again.
Oh
I
my God.
promise.
Oh fuck. Okay. We can do this. Dark is like, we can fucking do this.
I give him a handful of like dried corn.
Yeah. Harold pecks away at it, unaware of his path to fame to come.
The magnitude of
I'm taking you on the road.
his destiny.
We're gonna go
to-
far.
God.
Fuck the fated four. This is my future.
This is my destiny. Alright.
Raising hyper-intelligent roosters.
So, you have your miracle rooster. I'm not gonna make that joke.
I also have been trying so hard not to make that joke.
Okay.
Go on, say it.
So next, would anyone like to take claim, since we're doing this just kind of generally in a vacuum of time approaching? Is there anyone that's trying to do something chronologically out of their list of things they want to do over the next couple days?
Not really.
Other than like talking to folks, I know that we joked about it, but I think that if Nomos ever wants to truly come to terms, I think Nomos has been having issues with seasickness. And if there is one thing Nomos hates more than anything on this entire planet of Aldrithe, it is feeling weak. So he is going to take the ocean by the scruff of its neck, and Nomos is going to find the captain and ask, if anyone here has a fishing rod.
Nomos fishing arc?
We've talked about the thing that
I'm so sorry to say that the answer is no, because that's not this kind of ship. However,
Damn
I
it.
encourage this pursuit in the future. I will say what I meant by chronologically, though, is I have the existing list of things you want to do. Does anyone have a particular order or a day that they want to do
Oh,
those things
sorry.
on?
Sorry
I'm
to
not
push
trying
the
to
Nomos
drag
fishing arc
plot
on
out
you
of you.
so
I'm trying to
fucking
ask
hard.
if anyone has a preference of order.
No.
The bane of
I don't
all
have a
things
preference of order.
Iniquitous. My rod
do-
casts true.
I do
Yo,
want
what?
to also talk to the crow person at some point, and I do want to have at least one more conversation with Naira, but I know that they are avoiding me, so if that takes a while, that's okay.
Okay, that might be an after week 1 thing.
Yeah.
However, we have 2 votes for Crow, 2 votes for Aarakocra, 1 vote for Satyrs, 1 vote for the Dilphin. What did you call them? The Dilphidin?
Paladilf.
Paladilf.
Paladil.
Dilphidin was also one that I threw out there, but it didn't land as well.
Paladilf. I'll say, those of you that want to talk to the Crow person and those of you that want to talk to the Aarakocra, do either of you want to do that specifically alone, or are you good with, doing that, or with going with another person?
I would love to do the Aarakocra with Mani.
Okay, what about the Crow person?
Yeah?
Yes. Sorry.
Votes on the Crow person.
Yeah.
The Crow person votes were Psyche and
Ivory.
Ivory.
Woody.
Ivory. I'll just say that whenever Psyche decides to talk to them, Ivory just happens to be there, so I can.
Yeah.
I can just be
Is
like, "Hi."
Psyche good with
But-
talking with them at the same time as Ivory?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Then you guys can eventually find it. It seems like Psyche, you've noticed if you spend a lot of time people watching, that she also spends a lot of time people watching. And she just happens to be on the deck a lot when you're up there, which means there's a lot of very interesting just like eye contact, nod, break eye contact, whatever, between the two of you, which is just odd. But eventually, when you're on deck, the two of you, I guess Psyche, eventually when you break and go to talk to her, Ivory can also be there. Under what circumstances do you two go to talk to her?
I'm just tagging along for the ride.
Okay.
I had an original thought in mind, but it did involve.
If it's a needs to be alone thing, I can just.
Yeah, if it needs to be an alone thing,
Find
Ivory
them
can go talk
another
to her
time.
another time. That is totally fine.
Okay. It doesn't. The conversation itself doesn't need to be. I had just conceptualized it as that, and now I need
Go
to
for
have
it.
a conversation.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. At some point, it just sort of, when it seems like we're the only two in a place, I just sort of like wave to them a
Sorry for
little
the
bit.
car.
Hey. Name's
Hi.
Psyche. Here's
Oh, Mikali.
Macaulay.
What's
So,
that face for?
Where are you heading?
Oh, Port Eau Claire.
Oh, cool. Us too.
Oh, you too?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Me and my group.
It seems like most people are hopping off in Botal, so it's good to see another person spicing it up.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah. What are you guys headed there for?
Well,
Would you accept if I said it's complicated?
Only if you'll accept when I say it's complicated?
Fine.
Fair enough. Hey, as long as you're pursuing something that's worth your time, something interesting.
That much I would say, yes.
So
You
did you
seem
come?
to-
Mhm.
Oh,
Go on.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. It's like he's just this moment of like, I don't really know how to do conversation without an end goal. It's like he's not trying to get anything out of this person and is still a little bit confused as to how to do that.
It's also a little bit intimidating because this person has a good amount of confidence. Like, she carries
Yeah.
herself with confidence and just kind of this general ease. And she's just got this nice easygoing smile. Occasionally you could just hear like the ruffle of the feathers just in the wind.
So fucking cool. I don't say that out loud. But like I probably could be caught staring. It's harder to catch me staring at anything because I don't
Yeah.
have visible stimuli, which is great. But I probably can be caught staring at the feathers.
She doesn't acknowledge it. What were you gonna say?
You seem to know your way around a boat, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of traveling in my time. Though this is my first time in a while that I'm traveling alone.
Oh. Yeah, the last time, I guess the only other time I've been on a boat, I was by myself, so. First time with company.
Ooh, that's fun.
Mm-hmm. You have traveling companions, or?
Oh,
Just
I
you?
used to travel with a circus. I'm actually going to be reuniting with a part of the circus group once we get to Port Eau Claire. I'm excited.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Hey, that means there'll be a show in town.
Yeah.
Or at least nearby. I don't know if I'm timing this perfectly, but it'll be in the area.
Oh, we'll see. What do you do? Does that ruin the magic, or?
Well, part of it is you'll just have to come see to find out.
Okay. That's cool, though.
Thank you.
I'm sort of just like anxiously fidgeting with my little holy symbol.
Yeah. No, she
I've picked up the Nomos habit of fidget with holy symbol.
Yeah. You see her kind
It's
of
hereditary.
you see her just kind of look you up and down and focus and kind of stare at you fidgeting at the with the holy symbol for a second and then being like, "Well, it was good to meet you."
Yeah, you too.
You said Psyche was your name?
Yeah.
It's a pretty name. Did you pick it?
Let's go with no.
Okay, there must be a story there. You'll have to tell me.
There is. You'll have to find out.
I like you. This will be an interesting 5 weeks.
And I just sort of head back to my room, trying to seem like I'm normal and not weird.
Yeah.
That conversation was so emotionally draining. I was trying to be cool so
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, yeah. No, and she just stays up there and just kind of watches you go. A little quick one. Does anyone else want to have any specific conversations, Ivory, other than Ivory, with Mhairi? Okay.
You seem like really cool.
You can go talk to her. Like, she'll talk to you. But Ivory...
I think Ewan would love that conversation. I don't know why Nomos would seek them out. And when Nomos would hear like someone's from the circus, he's like, "Oh, I know what that is."
God.
I mean, if you want, what can also happen is Ivory can just sit next to them at breakfast, and you can come in, and I'm the only other person in the goddamn room, you know. And then you have to sit down, and now
Yeah.
we're both sitting next to this person.
That's
Don't be
fair.
shy.
If you want to join for the Ivory conversation, you can. But other than that... Last call?
Nomos will. Here's the thing. I think the party does eat together. So like,
Yeah.
if this is like a mealtime conversation, unless it is specifically separate, if it is a mealtime conversation, I can be here and just like raise my hand.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Circus, is that where the is that the place where it's about posturing, circus dances?
I mean, I wouldn't call it
No.
posturing. Oh wait,
That
you're
was
talking
me
to her
trying to
or
make a
Ivory?
really bad pun about the word circumstances.
my
Sorry. I'll go now.
God. Either way, are you actually dedicating like conversation time to her, or are you sticking to yourself, Nomos?
I'm sick of myself.
Okay. Then Ivory. You can, like, approach her
I
at
think
dinner
I-
or on the deck or something like that. It's up to you.
I think I do it at dinner, just like a mealtime is good.
Okay.
And like Ivor just like walks in and there's no one in the room that sorry, excuse me. There's no one else in the party that's like there yet. So there's like, you know what, sure. And just like sit with this person. And they're just, hey, is this cool? And I'd like
Yeah,
motion to the
absolutely.
chair.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Come sit. What's your name?
I'm Ivory.
Nice to meet you. I'm Macaulay.
How is that spelled, Mhairi?
That is Mykhali.
Jesus.
Man, I was way the fuck off.
Yeah.
Mykhali.
Mykhali.
Okay.
Yeah, I was way the fuck off.
So was I.
But
Nice to meet you. And I like look at the food. How's the food? I helped with this one. Is it bad? I was wondering if we put too much pepper.
did you work on this?
I've been bored, so I just like poked my head into the kitchen, and now they can't get rid of me.
They let you? That's so fun. You must be good at it.
My family owned the restaurant, so.
Ooh. Well, and it's good to know you got the stuff. I personally like this. I don't know if it's everyone's cup of tea, but I think the spices are fine, so guess you did a good job.
Great. And I think they just make small talk. They just
Yeah.
want to, like, have people on this goddamn boat that aren't someone they fucked over their life.
She is very friendly, relatively charismatic in the sense that she can hold her own in the conversation, but also is doing a lot of just kind of letting you talk and seeing what you say. She seems very friendly and very understanding, asks a lot of questions about, like, when you, like, offhandedly mention, like, Psyche or something like that at one point, and she's like, oh, you guys are part of the same group? I met Psyche earlier. That's why you guys have been traveling just kind of around the boat like that, and just kind of asks about the rest of the group, what you guys are up to, like, asks a lot of questions and just likes to listen to what you have to say.
Yeah, Ivory gives, like, some surface level answers. Nothing like, yeah, and then we fought the fucking conduit. Like, nothing like that. But it's just like, yeah, no, we all met in adventure.
Let me tell you about the time I killed a dragon.
Yeah.
And then now I became dragon, and this is how I exit now. But
yeah.
we just kind of all met through adventuring, and I room with Psyche, so, like, yeah, we're part of the same party, and all of us are just going to our next adventure, so we're on our way.
Yeah, it's just very much the smile and nod, and then another leading question about, like, oh, your roommate, what's it like rooming with Psyche? Do you usually room with Psyche? Do you room with other people? Like, how does that... And it's just a lot of questions. But they're all polite questions. Like, she's not asking, so what the fuck is up with the other person on the boat? Like, it's all just like, oh, well, do you room together often? Like, how's that going with just asking about, like, other people in the group and stuff?
Oh, no, I normally room with Armani, but we...
Yeah.
And then I keep talking, and it's fine, and we have a nice conversation. And if anyone else walks in, then we're just chatting.
I wonder if... Macaulay, I almost said Mercy Morn, which is not what I meant to say. That's a character from a book. I know. Macaulay can tell if Ivory has a huge stinking crush on Armani from the, like, 10 minutes of conversation they had.
You have no idea? But...
actually, I think Armani is gonna walk in on this conversation.
Oh my god.
I think I just...
Yeah, Ivory, the minute you come in, Ivory just kind of, like, shifts to the side so there's a spot.
Aw. Then I sit next to you.
Kept your feet warm for you.
Aw. I sit next to you. I don't think we've met. I'm Armani.
Oh, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Macaulay. I've been talking to Ivory, and I talked to Psyche the other day, too. It's nice to start meeting the whole group. I've already heard a little bit about you.
Oh, good things, I hope.
Yeah. I mean, of course. I know
Yeah,
Ivory
they were
was
all
just telling
very
me how you
bad.
two. I know Ivory was telling me about how you two used to room together and spend some time together like that.
They look at Ivory like, what the fuck does that mean?
We were just talking about I share a room with Psyche, and they just kind of like look at Colleen and just like, yeah, that is in
Yeah.
fact what I just said.
Yeah, that is where we were in the conversation. I don't understand why you're looking at me like that.
Oh no, it's So where are you headed to on this little
Port Eau
boat
Claire.
of ours?
I'm
Why can none of our fucking party members talk to people like normally?
Port Eau Claire.
They're socially awkward.
I'm
Like we
hoping-
all have excuses, but still.
Oh yeah, you do. I'm hoping to go there.
You were raised in an isolated place.
Like, Nomos was
This
essentially
one has
actually raised in a
anxiety.
barn. Like,
Raised in a fucking attic.
yeah. And it's just like and like, to be fair, she's taking it like a fucking champ. In terms of just
She's
like,
carrying.
oh yeah, like no, I'm headed to Port Eau Claire. I'm gonna be meeting up with some old friends from the circus there.
Ooh, oh, fun. Are you from there, or are you just meeting them there?
Oh, just meeting them there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What do you do in the
know
circus?
the area?
Do I know the area? Not super well, but I've got enough of an idea enough of a guide to keep a head on my shoulders. What do I do in the circus? Well, then you will just have to come to a show to find out.
Well, now we have to.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, I can try and get you discounted tickets.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Fuck it up. Let's go to the circus, guys.
Yeah. It'll be a
You
circus.
hand me
I know,
a discount.
I don't know what they have nowadays, but I know that they used to have like just they had the full show, but then they would have all of these like games and interactive stuff and things like that outside of it. I don't know how good any of you all are in terms of aim, but there was a knife throwing competition that I think I might be going and doing, just like old days, and I'd be willing to challenge any of y'all.
Do they have a ring toss?
Sometimes.
I'm just thinking of the last like festival that we went to, and like we played the stupid game, so we got the little prizes. I
Yeah.
want more little prizes.
You have the opportunity to get more stupid prizes.
No,
Remember the
darling.
last time we were at a festival and Armani lost an arm wrestling competition to a teenager?
God, that really fucking
Cried
happened.
in
I don't think I
alleyway about it.
participated because Nomos was like, "Oh, I'm not one for ego," even though he is. And
Yeah.
God, I remember that. Also, Vari, knife throwing competition. See, now, knives have the finesse property, which means that they can use dexterity. That also means they can use strength.
Yeah.
Okay, I make sure that we're following here.
Yes.
I'm not dexterous, but Nomos can throw a knife and like the sheer impact force. If it hits the fucking handle, it goes through you like a brick.
Oh yeah.
He ain't exact. He just hits like a truck.
He hits you.
If you
with
break the target, do you
side of
still
it.
win?
Yeah.
Yes.
The handle lodges into the fucking wood because I threw it so hard.
But yeah. Otherwise, what the fuck?
Other wide.
Other wide. Well, first wide.
First one. No, otherwise, it's just again, very casual conversation, just asking a lot of questions, and trying to
I
keep
eventually
things
get into
going.
explaining the rules of Tentalienne tic-tac-toe.
Okay.
You'll have to know this when you get there.
Yeah. Armani, who was from there, who has never played this game, is like, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Look, okay, so you start out with the original 4 lines, and that gives you the 6 boxes, and once you fill those up, if no winner has come about by then you can extend the board. You have to go horizontally first, but you can only answer the...
Ryan hears this and goes, "It's the original 9 boxes, actually," and then keeps walking.
Oh my god.
What I meant, I can't count. And
I can't write.
Fuck you. And they like.
I will say, as you walk
Are
by,
drilling
she
it
will
with
go,
their
Psyche,
finger on
you
the
should come
table.
join us, as you kind of walk by, and so you're welcome to join this nightmare of a conversation.
Oh, sure.
Is Ivory able to play as the X's in tic-tac-toe because X's are a letter?
I'd say yes.
O's are
technically.
also a letter.
This is true.
But you could
I-
say
I-
just a
Cir-
circle.
yeah.
Maybe I could just scribble.
Yeah.
I call it a circle. This is true. This is true.
But then they eventually are like, hold on, because they don't want to make Dart come out, and they're like, they go back to the room, they grab Harold, bring him back. Okay, so
You make Harold draw X's for Macaulay.
yes.
Fair enough. Macaulay is like, this is... Wow, I've never seen anything like this before.
See, this is
Why
all
does it
very
do that?
interesting. I made the graph.
Okay. And you
I
continue
hold out
to...
my hand and I try and make him draw on my hand.
He'll do it.
Nice.
I think
Yeah.
Armani has this expression of just like, oh my god, my friends are so embarrassing, but also big hard eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hold on.
Yeah.
It's like he has a tattoo gun, right?
No, no,
No.
you're not letting the chicken tattoo anyone.
Tattoo.
You're not letting the chicken tattoo
I
anyone.
will say, Psyche does not have a tattoo gun. Psyche does not.
I was gonna say that implies the
Ew.
existence of fucking tattoo guns in
But
Aldrithe.
he used to
I
have.
thought
stick
they
tattoos.
had. Yeah. Teach Harold
can
how to
do-
give stick
That was
You can
years
make
ago. That was in
tattoos.
Titan.
Yeah.
He could like pack with his little beak with like ink on it and give you.
Yes!
No, that's a like guaranteed way to get a bacterial infection.
It's a fucking bird's mouth.
It's also a fantasy world where we can cure
I'm gonna give him a
Oh.
special beak extension that has a needle, like it's like a metal beak that he like clamps onto and then he can peck with it, but it has a needle that he can dip into.
Floyd,
into
you
ink.
said that this is a fantasy world, yet Psyche has gotten sepsis like twice.
Yeah.
Nomos is the only person here
3
immune to
times.
this because he's a paladin.
You're the only one who can get a chicken tattoo, is what you're saying.
No.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be good. It's just novelty because it's done by a chicken.
You're gonna like do it on Nomos while he's fucking sleeping and he's never gonna forgive any
They
of
call
you?
me the midnight tattoo artist.
I think I think we don't. I think I know what we need to do tonight. We need to give Nomos his first tattoo.
Nomos will wake up and divine smite you with his
If you
bare
mention
hands.
anything about this tattoo plan out loud, Macaulay is like, this sounds fucking amazing.
Oh, no, I think that then yes, absolutely. I'm like, we should tattoo
It's-
Nomos in the middle of the night.
No, at
No,
some point,
please.
Ivory, like after seeing Harold draw the X on Psyche's like arm or whatever, it's like, did you have tattoo materials at some point? I thought you did.
I did. I don't now.
We should get some more.
Y'all
Oh,
were
I
on
mean,
a
are
boat for 5 weeks.
Do you think there's room in the circus
When we get there.
for a chicken tattoo artist?
I mean, I
Or
think
even
there's
just
room
a
in...
chicken that can do competitive Tentalienne tic-tac-toe.
I think
Yeah.
there's room in the circus for anyone, so I am sure a chicken with that distinctive equality would be very welcome as a part of the troupe.
Okay, I propose this. If we train Harold properly enough to like play tic-tac-toe, Tentalienne tic-tac-toe, forgive me, at the circus, we get free entry.
I hold out my hand for a handshake to Macaulay.
Hey guys,
No, also-
hey guys.
And I'll also show you around Evermeet.
Hey guys, don't make deals with someone who is.
Deal.
Don't do that. No, don't say deal.
No, we're gonna deal it. it's yeah, we make a deal.
You gave this person your name. You gave them everyone's name in the party except for
I
Nomos.
didn't give them my name. They're like,
That's-
what is your name?
Could I have your name? No. Sorry. I
No
do
one
want to
has
say.
asked, could I have your name yet?
No.
I do want to
It
say
would be
something. I
very
do want to
clear.
say something. I do want to say something.
Yes.
Yes.
What if Harold reaches a level of intellectual and like emotional intelligence that he is able to effectively communicate with us that he wants a life on his own where he can live with the
Then
circus?
I will
where he can
set
make
him
his own
free!
livelihood? Yeah. Do we set him free?
He
Yes.
has his own autonomy,
Okay.
of course.
We're not gonna
Okay,
like
great.
keep him as a
What
like,
if we find
I'm
out
not
that like
imprisoning him.
he was so popular, not just with the fans but with his coworkers, that the business and the circus is handed down to him, and then Harold
Ewan,
single-handedly
Ewan.
becomes like, you know.
Ewan, you
What?
fail to realize that I can at some point transform him with polymorph into something that can speak, and he can speak to us.
It will also increase his
Just have to
intelligence to
know
the level of
language.
whatever.
If he gains intelligence, you have the ability to know language at a certain...
Yeah, but you don't,
I
I don't
think
think
it's-
you automatically know it. I think he would just speak
We
like
can
Orin.
teach him through
Teach him.
lexigrams.
Hey,
teach him
if
through
you can get him to
lexigrams, like
do it
apes.
while you're on this boat and somehow manage to do it while you're on this boat, you can get the Aarakocra to translate it.
Fuck yeah!
Oh my god.
let's fucking go.
If you can get to the
This
point where he has
implies
enough
that
intelligence to
Harold speaks
speak
Orin?
Orin. If he has enough, if he gets to the point where his intelligence is high enough that he can speak Orin. Because here's the thing, I will give you this. If you can get him to the point where he is able to speak, and you can get him to the point where he is intelligent enough to speak languages and understand languages, I will give him Orin for free. But only Orin.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes.
Because he is a bird.
Yes. I'm gonna learn comprehend languages on my next level up.
He doesn't have
Aarakocra
it yet.
don't know Orin because they're birds. Aarakocra know Orin because they are beings from the elemental plane of wind.
Well, yeah, but that has now become a bird thing.
Okay.
It's the next best thing.
It's also
Okay.
associated
So
with a bird
excited.
thing. It can
Okay.
be both.
That's okay. I'm okay. I just thought it was silly. Because this implies that Harold is not just a chicken, but also a being
How do you
from
know
the
that Harold
elemental
is just a
plane of
chicken?
wind. Well, he fucking
Don't say things
isn't.
you
He
don't
doesn't
understand.
have the stat block of a chicken. We made
Yeah.
sure of that.
No, he doesn't have the stat block of a chicken. How
Harold
would you
has
know
above
he is not a
average
wind elemental?
intelligence
You think
and
I'm fucking
dexterity.
joking? He's not a real he's not just a chicken. We're beyond that point.
Harold's just a chicken.
Harold is no chicken. Harold is no man. Harold is unto
How is-
beyond.
How is
could
Harold
kill
a chicken?
Macbeth.
Tell
Harold
Elmo.
could kill Macbeth. Harold could kill Macbeth.
Because he was
God.
not born from the womb
Because
of a mother.
he was not born of he was not of woman
He is
born.
not a man of woman born.
Either way, Harold has potential, and Macaulay 100% agrees to help you create this potential in Harold. And with
To
those-
try to
create that potential in Harold. And with those plans on the horizon, I think that's actually where we're gonna end tonight's session.
God.
My God.
Perfect.
Just for the sake of time.
God.
Oh god, I love that the first half of this session was so dramatic, and then the second half just deteriorated.
Nice time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beginning of this was like Nomos and Ivory just like laying their fucking hearts out, and the second half was just like, do you think that if Harold became sentient and wanting to create his own livelihood, that he...
Exactly. It's
God.
it's the palate cleanser after all of it. But
Yeah,
regardless,
exactly.
you can keep checking out other members of the crew, of the not the crew, but other members of your traveling group next week. And be sure to come up with some plans before next week for the 5 weeks as a whole. If you have any goals of things you want to do, any big things you have plans for, be sure to think about those over the next week, because we will be back next week, same time, same place, 7:30 p.m. US Central on this channel, twitch.tv/AldrithDND, as we do every week. As usual, if you'd like to keep up with us on a different platform, we are on YouTube, we are on Twitter, and we are on TikTok. We are at AldrithDND on all of those platforms, spelled the exact same way that it's spelled here. If you go to Twitter, you can tweet fan art at us if you want to be a part of the reel, or you could just tweet at me in general, and I will be happy to reply and say hi. Or answer any questions you might have. Seriously, you're allowed to ask questions about lore and characters, and I will answer them if it's not spoilery. But if you want to get up to date, I'll get there, Beetlejules. If you want to get up to date on some of the lore, you can check out our VODs on our YouTube, or you can go check out our wiki, which
we're gonna
has
update tonight.
yeah, we can update the wiki. We can figure some stuff out that has information on all our PCs, the homebrew pantheon, and a lot of little things in the in between. If you'd like to add to it, but it is also a wonderful collaborative experience. You absolutely can. And finally, before we get on to the final thing of tonight and our raid, first, binder check, as Beetlejules said. If you are one of our friends that wears a binder and you have not done so already, or maybe you should do it again, please make sure to stretch, take a deep breath. If those things ache, if those things hurt, please take it off and give yourself a break. And make sure to put that washing the binder on the to-do list as well. It is a new week. Perhaps a new a load of laundry. We'll see what happens. Maybe. Consider it. But before we get to our last little point of the week that I do every week, we have a raid to go over. So who are we going to be raiding today, Silvi, my dear?
I believe that is pronounced Savlon or Savion.
Okay.
SAV1ON.
All right.
They are doing a D&D stream. They have a bunch of players, so many. And they have the LGBT tags going on,
Nice.
So...
A brave soul with a large player number group. I sit only at 4, so we should go give them some kudos. However, before we head that way, if no one has told you this week, I love you so dearly. You are so very, very valued, and we are lucky that you are here to join us on this stream and in this world on this day. Please remember that you are a absolute blessing to be around, a star shining in the sky, and I really hope to see that wonderful star again next week, though even if you don't come next week, I will love you anyway. Either way, I'll see you then. Let's spread some of this Aldrithe love to our person that we're raiding, and let's go check out that big group. It's gonna be really fun. See you next week. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye.